a haunted hospital finally being demolished, ancient worms with teeth all the way down their throats, and the 25 most haunted roads in America.
Get comfortable. Turn off the lights. It's Monthly Spooky.
Hello and welcome, everyone. It is indeed that time of the month. It is time for Monthly Spooky. I'm, of course, your host, Enrique Couto, with my good buddy and co-host, Michelle Antisocial. Michelle, how are you today?
I'm okay.
I feel like you might be lying.
No, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Uh-oh, the more she says it's fine, the worse it gets.
It's fine.
Well, before we jump into the show whole hog, I do want to say a special thank you to everyone who took the time to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Over on Facebook at the WeeklySpooky Tomb of Terror. That's where we all kind of hang out on social media. You know, all the authors from the show and myself and a lot of the fans. Yeah, you got a bunch of happy birthdays, which made you upset.
Yes.
Especially when people were like, I like you from your show. You were like, get away from me.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're all lying.
Exactly.
You think it was just a concerted effort between everybody to like make you think they like you?
Yeah, everybody's just being polite is the deal. Oh, okay.
Do you think your mom like went around handing out $5 bills to like make people like you?
No.
No, $20 bills?
She knows I wouldn't want her to give money to people to make them like me.
So only pure guilt. That's the only move that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people did comment and wish you a happy birthday, and I want to wish you another happy birthday, even though it was a few weeks ago now.
Yeah, whatever. Thank you.
Was it a good birthday?
Yeah, it was okay. I was, I don't normally have decent birthdays because I hate everything all the time. But I've been in like a really okay mood all of May. So I just really lucked out this year.
Yeah.
Stupid stuff.
Well, congratulations. That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good thing.
It'll be gone soon and I'll be sad again. So
that sounds almost like you're hoping for it. You're like, gosh, I hope this doesn't last.
Yeah, what's going on? Stop.
What a nightmare. Well, I sent you an anime t-shirt.
You did. Yes. Thank you.
So you're very welcome. You are incredibly hard to buy for.
I know.
I've never been able to get you to make an Amazon wish list, I don't believe.
No.
That you've ever done that. Which is just the nicest thing you could do for people who care about you, is to have a wish list so that it's easy to shop for you. But
no one wants it. I mean, besides you.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not enough. Is that what you're saying?
To make a wish list? You could just ask me.
And you'll go, no, don't get me anything. That's literally, That's why that's not a good process. You see?
Yeah.
So, well, while your May has been awesome, my May has been horrible. No, I'm just kidding. But I did hurt my back, which is really frustrating because I'm 37. And
you're 37.
I was getting to, and this is the first time I've like, I feel like I've come close to like that old saying of like throwing your back out.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't think that's what happened exactly.
Yeah.
One of my friends is convinced it was a slip disc because of just how long the pain lingered.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's why if people listen to last Friday's bonus show, I aired the episode of Do You Even Movie where I reviewed Urban Legend with David. And I was completely whacked out on pain meds.
Oh.
So from what I've heard, because I won't listen back because I'm so self-conscious about being on pain medicine, it was a very entertaining show.
Well, good.
I remember saying a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but I remember saying a lot of things and stuff. But one of the reasons my back has not been able to fully heal is because I've been shooting a movie, been directing a film, and I pulled a muscle or whatever in my back the day before we started like the hardest day of filming.
That sucks.
And then it started to feel better. And then I went into the second hardest day of filming and it hurt a lot more the next day.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling. Help.
Oh.
Now, luckily, I've got the inflatable hot tub, which helps soothe it. So
yeah,
as long as I find the actual time to sit in it, which I have a real bad habit of doing that, of being like, oh, well, now it's midnight. I can't soak. It's like, yes, it's my backyard. It's my hot tub. Why do I do that to myself?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, my back's feeling better today.
Good.
I don't have any heavy lifting, and the film I've been shooting, Wraps Principal Photography, actually will have already wrapped by the time this airs. So
awesome.
Yay!
You did it. Yay!
I did it. Yeah, only 5 years in the making or so.
Yay.
So anyway, that all being said, I'm excited to sit down yet again with you, Chow. Sometimes it feels like there's no time between episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And this time it felt like we just did one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, not to me. It feels like it's been like my entire life.
Good. I didn't want time to fly while you're having fun. No. Time does not fly when you're having fun, I'm assuming. For you.
No, I have no idea, actually. I don't understand.
Never had fun?
Yeah, exactly. So how would I know?
Well, so the topic for this month's episode is one I've been interested in for a while, and I tried my best to find the most interesting information about it. And no, I didn't just have ChatGPT make it up.
I could have done that for you.
I know, but what I wanted to look into is the most haunted roads in America.
Okay.
Because I find haunted roads really interesting. You and I have had long conversations about the vanishing hitchhiker and stuff like that. And it made me want to dive in. So I found a list of 25 haunted roads. And the funny part about this list, which we'll be going over a little later in the program, is it didn't even have all the ones I've heard of on it.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, but it's a good one. And it's the most exhaustive one I could find.
Okay.
I found like 9 best roads, 15, but then I found 25. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling good about that. I don't care how much I've let you down. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, so if you've ever had an experience with a haunted road or a cursed road or a spoopy road, you want to get that ready in your brain meats.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know anything about. I've never had a road be haunted before.
Gosh, why is your life so lacking in spooky?
I don't know. It's just a road, guys.
It's just a road. Well, I mean, how often do you find yourself creeped out, like when you're all alone at night and stuff?
Not a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's not a lot? Like if you had to give it a percentage.
That, like just on an average day that I'm creeped out? Is that what you were saying?
Or like how often do you find yourself creeped out? Like, would you say it's like less than 10% of the time, or
yeah,
really that little when you live alone?
I mean,
alone.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not.
Well, I live alone too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've been extra spooked now that I don't have dogs anymore, because they would always like alert me of sounds and people, and maybe ones they imagined as well. Sometimes they would just start barking. I remember when I first adopted Henwolf, her favorite thing in the world was to walk out into the backyard in the middle of the night and walk right up to where the darkness started, like where my porch light cut off, and just bark into the darkness.
Yeah.
That is a great way to clear your sinuses. I'll tell you that much right now. Like that definitely made me go, "Oh, you got my attention. What the hell's going on out there?"
Yeah.
So, but yeah, good for you that you don't get spooked unless your printer does something.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, was that the only time that you've been that spooked all alone?
That was probably the most, because I called the cops.
Right, right.
I mean, it's not the only time. It's not like I don't get spooked. But
Why was that in quotes?
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
But like it's just kind of rare, especially the longer I have lived in this area and the more that I kind of understand what my house sounds like. You know?
That makes sense.
I do sometimes wake up. It hasn't happened as much as it used to, but I'll just like wake up at like 3 a.m. and go like, oh my God, like I could just totally be attacked now. Like, who knows?
You just wake up for a vulnerability check?
Yes.
You wake up and you go, wow.
Yeah. Like, am I safe?
No, you're not.
So I get that, but that's probably the most of it. And that's only like maybe once like a month or once every few months. So
okay. That's pretty good. I'd say I get spooked out about 20%.
Okay.
Maybe 25%. Like I'll just be alone and then things will get really like I'll like hear a sound or it's really not about my house. It's about what media I'm consuming.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember one time I would have called you, but it was like 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So I called a friend who I noticed was awake on like Facebook because I was alone and I was on pain medicine or no, was it anxiety medicine? I was medicated in some way. And, I'm not, much of a, I don't drink. I don't smoke. I mean, I smoke cigars. They don't make you feel high necessarily, but so obviously when I'm on some kind of a medication that makes me feel funny, it's very alien to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like laying on the couch and I'm like really sleepy. Yeah, it must have been anxiety medicine because it makes me sleepier than anything. But and I was really sleepy and I told myself like tonight you're gonna rest, you're gonna relax. Hence, take your meds that you often refuse to take. Mm-hmm. So I take them and I'm starting to feel like whatever. And then I'm just like flipping through YouTube and I'm like, ooh, 30 terrifying Ring doorbell encounters.
Whoa.
Why wouldn't I watch that? Why would that possibly make me nervous or scared?
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, about 25 out of the 30, I was just like, because they weren't just like somebody like staring in the bell and like making a creepy face or like a guy in a clown suit. They were like actual home invasions attempts and successful ones, where somebody just stands there and says like, I'm looking for a dog. And then like people rush in from the other side as soon as the door opens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're like, great. Now I'm going to be freaked out tonight when I try to sleep.
Well, I don't like open doors for people when at like 1 a.m. So I don't.
Yeah, that's fair. Even if they said that their cat was lost.
Yes. Even if they said their cat was lost.
What if they said the cat was really cute?
I mean, they'd have to show me a picture first.
Through the peephole?
Yeah, I don't have a peephole, but they could slide it under my door, and then we could assess how cute it is, and then we can make it.
And then you just keep their phone. You're like,
oh, I thought it was like a picture.
A printout?
Yeah.
They're very well prepared.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're looking for their lost animal. Do you think that they would like have printed out some stuff? If they can't show me a printed flyer, I'm not opening the door.
That's fair. And now they know for when they try to get in to have a printed flyer. While we're at it, now give a list of your greatest fears.
That's the one.
Well, so anyway, that night I ended up having to just talk with a friend for like a half an hour because I don't know why I thought, well, I could barely keep my eyes open. I should like terrify myself with the idea of home invasions.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I did. And obviously I like the spookier side of things because I kind of created this weekly spooky thing. But yeah, sometimes I can get pretty spooked.
Yeah.
So, but that all being said, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to jump knee deep into the spooky news right after this. Michelle.
Yeah.
Guess what?
I don't know.
It's time for the spooky news.
The spooky news.
So this story is from Michelle's favorite place on earth, NPR, National Public Radio.
Yay!
This is from NPR.org. And this one grabbed my attention immediately for multiple reasons. The headline is Ancient Predatory Worms Have Scientists Rethinking the History of Life on Earth.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
500 million years ago, the world was a very different place. Was it?
No.
I mean, as long as you can get McDonald's, it's fine.
Yeah, it's the same.
Basically, all life lived in the water, which held a lot of animals that looked pretty different from the ones we recognize today.
Yep.
This article's opening with a lot of duh.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, really?
I think it's like 500 million years ago, the world was a very different place. It's like, yeah, I think it was a very different place 10,000 years ago, or even 500 years ago.
Yeah.
Even 50 years ago.
It was a pretty different place. Yeah.
But, I mean, why quibble, right?
No.
Oh, you're pro quibble?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, then quibble away.
That was it. I don't have anything else.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Hey, at least you can admit it. One of these was a group of predatory worms with throats covered in spines, hooks, and teeth to trap their prey.
So the prey would have to go down their throat first to get trapped?
I guess so.
I guess maybe they could they not close their mouths all the way or something?
Well, maybe we'll find out. Maybe it like jumps forward and uses like inertia to put you into its throat.
Maybe.
They built tubes around. They built tubes around themselves and lived inside them, waiting for their next victim to crawl by.
Okay.
Quote, these worms are pretty small, but if you're an invertebrate crawling along the sea floor, this thing is like a nightmare. Just like predatory features all being pushed out of its throat at you, says Karma Nanglu, a postdoctoral fellow at the Museum of Comparative Zoology at Harvard. So yeah, these things are about 2 centimeters long.
I don't know how much a centimeter is.
Oh, you hear that, international listeners?
Sorry.
Michelle just shots fired. Shots fired. That's pretty brutal. Here it is. I'm showing it to you. I think I am showing it.
You are. It? I still don't know what a centimeter is, but that's helpful.
I know, but there's a picture of the fossilized worm.
Just looks like I don't know.
It looks like a piece of taffy you left on a rock.
Pretty much.
Scientists have known for a while that these approximately inch-long terrors, there you go.
Thank you.
lived during the Cambrian period, roughly 500 million years ago. So I know the Cambrian period because in Tremors, the monsters are pre-Cambrian.
Okay.
Which means that they're like the oldest living thing on Earth aside from single-cell organisms.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Which is so cool. Like,
yeah.
That's in part 2. She's shocked because she realizes that she found a piece of a graboid and a piece of Precambrian rock, which means that they've been on this planet longer than just about anything.
Yeah.
So they're older than the dinosaurs? Way older than the dinosaurs. Sorry, I could just quote Tremors 2 the rest of the show. It's favorite movie of all time. But the end of the Cambrian period was marked by a mass extinction. So Nanglu and other researchers thought that... It says other researchers. Come on, NPR, man. Get a copywriter. Thought that these Selkirkia worms had been left behind like much of the other marine life at the time. Mm-hmm. Oh, they got left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, the animals that came out of the Cambrian explosion were like life's big first. Like Big Bang in some ways, Nanglu said. And then afterwards, they didn't really persist all that long.
Oh.
I guess they just didn't have that instinct, You got to commit.
Yeah.
When you're thrust into existence, you got to go for it, man.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise this happens, I guess.
Yeah. But a paper recently published in the journal Biology Letters by Nanglu and paleobiologist Javier Ortega Hernandez showed examples of a new species of this Selkirkia worm in the fossil record 25 million years after researchers thought they had vanished from the Earth.
Oh, so we're just dumb. I got it.
Yeah, we screwed up.
Yeah.
So it turns out that these might have existed a little bit later than we thought. Mm-hmm. Still millions of years before man, but yeah. Nanglu says this finding may change how scientists understand life in different periods of Earth's ancient history.
Well, good.
From a quote, from the biological perspective, maybe some of these boundaries are a little bit more fuzzy than we previously thought, he says. And then it just stops. That's the article.
Oh, okay.
So, TLDR, short story short, these creepy worms may have existed a lot longer than we thought. Many of these Cambrian predators may have existed beyond what people originally assumed.
Yeah, because we're just not very smart. So,
And you know what happens when you assume?
yeah, I do.
What is that?
Get ice cream.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, this next one I picked just for you, Michelle.
Oh.
I want it. Well, sometimes the spooky news can be a bit dour and a bit sad.
Yeah.
So I try to pick something that's a little bit upbeat or fun. So I picked one for me and one for you and one for both of us.
Okay.
So this one's for you.
Oh.
From the Huffington Post, Vermont University gives Max the cat honorary Doctor of Literature degree.
Why?
Why what?
Why would they do that?
Well, it's not literature, it's litter dash
I know. That makes it worse.
Because cats use litter is what it's called. Okay. I mean, why do you not respect this cat's attempts at higher education?
I just wanted to get a real degree, I wouldn't.
Not liberal arts, like something real, something you can use.
No.
I can just see this cat's owner like petting it on a couch and going, "I love you, little Max, but what can you do with a doctorate of literature, sweetie? Like,
exactly.
You can get a job in that."
Yeah, who's going to hire him?
So, Castleton, Vermont. A Vermont university has bestowed the honorary degree of Doctor of Literature on Max the cat, a beloved member of its community, ahead of students' graduation on Saturday. Vermont State University Castleton campus is honoring the feline not for his mousing or napping, but for his friendliness.
Well, then how come it doesn't say that?
Why it's not a doctorate of friendliness?
Yeah.
I think somebody came up with that literature pun and will not let it go. They're like, no, it is so good. This is my time to shine.
Maybe.
You can't take it away.
Honestly, maybe. Yeah.
Quote, Max the cat has been an affectionate member of the Castleton family for years, the school said in a Facebook post. The popular tabby lives in a house with his human family on the street that leads to the main entrance of the campus. Quote, so he decided that he would go up on campus and he just started hanging out with the college students and they love him, owner Ashley Dow said Thursday. You want to see a picture of the kitty cat?
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell are you asking for as a kitty?
Aw, little tabby with white.
Yeah, he's got a little white chest, a little white mouth.
Yeah.
It's a cute cat. Well, as the world probably could guess, Michelle is a cat person. I am a dog person. Which means that we are both half that animal.
Yes, exactly.
I always felt weird when people say, are you a dog person? I'd be like, I'm just imagining like a werewolf, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's dog man.
Oh.
Okay. He's been socializing on campus for about 4 years. And students get excited when they see him. They pick him up and take selfies with him. And he even likes to go on tours with prospective students that meet at a building across from the family's house, she said.
Aww.
Quote, I don't even know how he knows to go, but he does, Dow said, and then he'll follow them on their tour.
I feel like instead of giving him an honorary degree, they should have just made him a student. They should have just been like, he's a student. Yay.
And start sending him bills for tuition.
Exactly. He's here all the time. Goes to all the lectures. He needs.
That's the other way to do it. University sends cat bill for spending too much time on college campus.
Exactly. See,
that would be a very different story. But I get it. I think
it's not even what I wanted, but now it's what I want. So
what did you originally want?
I just want him to be, just be a student, but he's on scholarship or something.
Oh,
yeah.
I can't think of a cat pun on scholarship.
Yeah,
but collarship.
I mean, if he's wearing a
A
collar.
collar?
I don't know that he's wearing a collar. It didn't look like he was wearing a collar in the picture.
That's dangerous. Yeah, he's not. That's not safe. You can't just let your cat out without a collar.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. He should be wearing a collar.
I mean, I'm just glad that colleges aren't like when I was younger. They're not just like, saying like, if you want into the frat, you got to kidnap that cat.
Well,
you got to get that
not.
cat drunk. You got to get the cat
not.
drunk, man.
Yeah.
Or a competing college is like, we got to catch the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. Really, all they've done is put a target on this poor cat's back.
Yeah.
Although the cat will be able to feel high and mighty at Thanksgiving this year when it sees its cat family.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys read on the Huffington Post about my degree in literature. And they're like, we know.
Yeah, you told us like 5 times. We don't even know what that means.
We're all cats. We don't know what any of this means.
This is very confusing.
The students refer to Dow as Max's mom. That's the woman who owns him. Mm-hmm. And graduates who return to town sometimes ask her how Max is doing.
Aw.
Well, this is kind of screwed up. Max won't be participating in the graduation, though. His degree will be delivered to Dow later.
Oh, fuck that. Oh, and wait.
He must be on ultra secret probation.
But also, I have a question. If he's getting his degree, does that mean he's not allowed on campus anymore? Because he's not a student?
Well, he was never a student.
But he's getting his degree.
I mean, you're not wrong. He is getting his degree. An honorary degree.
So,
now all this dumb students are going to be like, man, that cat outranks me in education.
Yeah.
I can't even pass AP math.
Yeah.
When you went to college, there was no cat, I'm guessing.
There were cats.
Just strays?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not like on there wasn't a campus, but not like there, but there
wasn't
around.
A campus?
Yeah, doesn't really have a campus, Drexel.
Oh, I mean, I don't think I've been to Drexel.
You've been over there before.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's why you don't know.
Well, I am sorry. I don't have an honorary degree in literature.
Which is good, because it's weird and it's not a real thing.
Man, I thought this was going to bring out the kind side of you, but you're being harsh, man.
I'm sorry. Come on.
You're like, expect more from cats.
Yeah. He should get his degree in, like, I don't know, physics.
Physics? Well, they do jump really high.
And they know about physics because they push things off the table.
They're constantly doing experiments.
Yeah, now that's what I want for him.
With your glass of water or whatever. They're just like, eat. I learned something.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, on that note, we're going to go to a quick break and we'll be back with even more spooky news. And we are back with even more spooky news. And this story, I don't think we've covered this before. This one's from me.
Okay.
This one's from Huffington Post. And the headline is, California dog missing since July is found in Michigan.
I wonder if I know about this one. I might.
You might. Mishka, a terrier mix, wandered away from his owner last summer and somehow ended up in Detroit.
Wow.
Yeah, you said Michigan. You didn't say Detroit. Maybe this is a sad story.
Oh.
I hope the dog didn't join a gang.
Sometimes you just because you gotta feel safe. And
because life on the streets is rough.
It's really no.
I mean, he doesn't have a degree in literature, but...
Well, why would he? He's not a cat.
You don't know how he identifies. You need to check yourself.
Oh, sorry.
That's a little brutal. Jeez. Well, this story I found really interesting because there are so many fascinating stories about dogs just kind of doing extraordinary things.
Mm-hmm.
So this one caught my attention. A dog missing in California since the summer turned up more than 2,000 miles away in suburban Detroit.
Oh, okay.
Police in Harper Woods responded to a call about a stray dog last week, picked up the terrier mix, and contacted an animal welfare group. The Grosse Pointe Animal Adoption Society said it quickly discovered that the dog, named Mishka, had an identity chip implanted in her with information about her owners. Mehrad Human and his family in San Diego, live in San Diego, but were planning to travel to Minnesota when the call came in. He landed there and then drove 10 hours to Michigan for a reunion with Mishka.
Huh.
The adoption group said on Facebook, on a Facebook post with pictures and video. It's a very cute dog, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's so cute. Hold on, I'm going to show you. Look at that cute doggy.
That's a pretty cute dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cute dog. It's a terrier mix. Very cute. I just want to say, like, 1,000%, if I had just gotten off a flight and somebody said your dog is 10 hours away, I would jump in a car and go get my dog.
Yeah.
I would be so excited that but I would also be very confused. It is very confusing how this dog ended up in Detroit.
I mean, I assume that there was some intervention from humans because why would a dog just go to Detroit?
Okay.
California.
Why would a person go to Detroit?
Hey, that's not nice. Detroit's cool. Maybe, I don't know.
Quote, "This is a tale that Hollywood would love to tell," the group said. Mishka had wandered away from Hellman's workplace, an auto garage, in July and never returned. Her collar had the family's phone number on it. Quote, "We think it was stolen and then it was sold and ended up in Michigan," said Corrine Martin, director of the animal welfare group.
The dog, right?
The dog, yeah.
Okay, because it was just weird.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah.
I think they're probably onto something. I have heard of smaller dogs being taken and sold.
Sure, I believe it.
Yeah, and also like dogs wind up just all over. Like when I did a DNA test on Henwolf and Chicano, it let you find their relatives.
Mm-hmm.
And almost none of their relatives were from the states that they were in.
Wow.
Like, Chicano was found in Atlanta, and he had relatives going all the way to Spokane.
Wow.
Like, I don't know how that happens, but
yeah.
It's pretty interesting. So, but maybe the dog just went on an adventure. Like Fievel. Remember Fievel?
I do remember Fievel. Yes.
I loved Fievel.
Yeah.
He went west.
He did, but I don't know if I saw that one.
You live to hurt me. That's all there is to it. You live to harm my soul with these comments.
I know.
You're like, I'm working on it, I swear. Homan's wife, Elizabeth, said it's been an incredible journey. Quote, "I never gave up," she said Thursday. "I put up over 1,000 flyers. I had a flyer on my back windshield. I wore her leash whenever I would look for her. Now I just want to find out how she got to Michigan." This is honestly incredible, though. Like, I couldn't imagine how upset I would be if I had lost my dog for months.
Yeah. And by then, I'm sure you just assumed that they've probably been killed.
Or a new family took them in without knowing that they had an original family somehow.
Yeah.
Or didn't care.
Yeah, more like didn't care because that dog was chipped. So,
well, I mean, if the collar were somehow lost, they would only check the microchip if they cared to, or if they were educated enough to know that they should go to a vet and check a microchip.
Well, I mean, they should go to a vet anyway if you just find a dog, you'd think, right?
You're not wrong, but that doesn't mean that everybody does that.
Well, they should.
Hey, I think I would know a little bit about veterinary expenses, all right?
Okay.
That's my trump card. I'm just like, boom, spent the most. I didn't even get a free sub sandwich when I broke $20,000 at the vet hospital.
I don't think they promised you that.
I didn't say they did, but it would have been nice.
Oh.
Well, it doesn't have to be one they made. It could be a coupon for an off-site place.
Did you even ask, though?
I hinted.
You have to use your words, or people aren't going to know what you want.
I felt like they could read my body language.
Yeah. No, that's not fair.
Okay, so let's try this, okay? I'll be the front desk worker at the veterinary hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And you be me and show me how I should have asked about if my dog with cancer costing over $20,000 meant that I could get a free sub sandwich. Okay.
Okay, I got it.
All right. Hey, how can I help you today?
I just want to get all settled up because we're about to leave.
Oh yeah, of course. Your total for today is $6,487.
Okay, all right. Question.
Yes.
Since I've spent unfortunately, I've spent about $20,000 here so far.
23, yeah.
Okay, and
I don't know why we know that, but we do.
Thank you. But I was just wondering if you had any perks if you spent over a certain amount of money, like food,
like
maybe
Percocet?
No,
Are you
no.
asking for Percocet?
No, I don't even know if you carry that.
We don't have. That's a human medication, and we do not prescribe that.
Are you sure you won't? Can you give me Percocet?
We do not. I don't like where this is going. That is a crime.
What about a sub sandwich?
What about a sub sandwich? What are you talking about?
That's all I'm asking is that you guys just buy me a sub or give me a coupon for a sub.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. It's been a long day. I've drank like 6 Red Bulls. We have grinders.
Oh,
it's corporate policy. Our company was founded in New England.
Oh, are you sure you don't have subs?
Look, I was about to give you a free sandwich, and now you're making it difficult.
I mean, I don't really like grinders. I'm not even sure what that is.
A grinder is just the New England word for a sub.
I know.
You just said you didn't know.
I'm sorry. It's been really hard for me.
Security?
No.
Yeah, what's going on? Would you please tell this woman what a grinder is? Yeah, it's a sub.
Oh.
Thank you, Neil.
So I can have one then?
No. The cap is $26,000.
Okay, I'll see you next week.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, that went pretty smoothly overall. You got to be careful with the whole Percocet thing. They get weird about that.
Yeah. I know, because I wasn't even asking for that, and it was already a problem. So
I used to regularly make the joke when Chicana would be doped up from doing a big scan. Mm-hmm. I would just say, like, man, for how much this is costing, can I get a little bit of what he's on? Like, just to cushion the blow. And they'd always laugh.
Oh, I thought they called the police.
No, thank goodness. No. I mean, I'm a cash cow for them. Are you kidding? Veterinarian Nancy Pillsbury examined 3-year-old Mishka, gave her a rabies shot, and cleared her to travel home to California. Quote, she was clean, well-fed. Whoever had her took good care of her, Pillsbury told the Associated Press. How she got here, that's a story only Mishka knows.
Oh, man.
That's it. We don't have anything else.
No. Yeah.
That's why instead of putting a microchip in your dog's neck, you need to put an Apple AirTag.
Yeah.
Have you heard about people putting AirTags in like packages that they send like overseas and stuff? Because you can actually like pinpoint where it actually goes.
No, I haven't.
My favorite was somebody mailed a package to North Korea. They just want to see what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
So and it like bounced around Asia for a really long time. Okay. So this is the last one involving animals, and this one's for both of us.
Okay.
But it may be a little bit heart-wrenching.
Oh.
But this one is from NPR, your favorite again.
Yay.
Have you seen this emotional support alligator? Wally's
I heard about this.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, you're excited.
Yeah, sorry.
Good. Oh, you're fine. I'm just not used to you knowing ahead. Well, it's new to me.
Okay.
Wally's owner says he's lost in Georgia.
Yeah.
The picture, have you seen Wally?
Oh, I think so, but you can show him to me.
It's just a picture of this old guy hugging an alligator. And the alligator's just like, I'm an alligator.
Yeah.
In ordinary times, the social media accounts devoted to Wally Gator document the nearly 6-foot-long emotional support alligator's adventures around Pennsylvania.
That's why I know about it.
I would have thought this was a Florida story, like 100%. But I stand corrected. My dad had an alligator when I was a kid.
Really?
It was not an emotional support alligator, though.
Oh.
Yeah, it was an alligator named Doc.
Oh.
Or wait, not Doc. No, Doc was the monitor lizard. The alligator was named Lee. Sorry. Like you would ever be able to fact check that ever. Like,
yeah.
But I remember because I would feed him chunks of meat.
Oh.
It wasn't very big. Probably about, I mean, big, like probably the size of like your forearm.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit bigger than that, like tail to nose. It's not a huge alligator. But yeah, we'd feed it chunks of meat. And I remember I asked Dad, like, why don't you feed it like fish or something, like live things?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, it makes them aggressive.
Oh.
I don't know if that's, I feel like an alligator is just going to be aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong because this is about to change my entire viewpoint of therapy alligators.
Yeah.
Okay, so following the nearly 6-foot-long emotional support alligator's adventures around Pennsylvania, visiting nursing homes, splashing around in Philadelphia's Love Park fountain, meeting with the mayor, and smiling contentedly in his red harness as various admirers hug and hold him.
Aww.
Does he really never, like, bites?
I guess not. Maybe they have something on his jaws, so he can't bite.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It sounds wonderful. In recent days, however, they've been overtaken with pleas for help. Wally is missing in Georgia, where his owner, Joey Henney, says he was kidnapped, recovered, and released into a swamp.
Yeah.
This is animal rights people doing this?
I don't know. I didn't know that much. I just know that he was released.
It sounds like if this is an animal rights thing, it's like, how dare you like love and cherish and hug that alligator? Henny and Wally, it feels weird because people call me Henny. Henny and Wally were visiting friends in Brunswick when someone took the gator from his pen in the early morning hours of April 21st, the Wally Gator Facebook page posted. Quote, Wally was stolen by some jerk who likes to drop alligators off in someone's yard to terrorize them. The account posted the following day. Okay, so that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Once discovered, they called the Department of Natural Resources, then called a trapper. The trapper came and got Wally and dropped him off in a swamp with about 20 other alligators same day.
Yeah, that's rough.
Jeez. No, I'd be livid.
Yeah.
A spokesperson for the Georgia Department of Resources told NPR on Friday that a permitted trapper had responded to a nuisance alligator call in Brunswick on April 21st and later released it in a remote location. Oh, man, I would bust him up, man.
Yeah, I mean, is Wally even going to be okay on his own with other?
I don't know because I don't know how much you can really tame an alligator. You know, like it may be fine. Because I mean, as fine as you can be living in the wild.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, honestly.
I didn't know there were that many alligators in Georgia. Jeez. They described the way the trapper handled the alligator as appropriate and routine, but they could not confirm whether the animal in question is Wally or where he is now. The Wally Gator Facebook page did not specify the location of the swamp, but urged people to get in touch with Henny to aid in the search and pray because we need a miracle. Especially given the presence of the other alligators. Great, now I'm really sad.
Yeah, me too.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll get back with the rest of this sad story that I thought was going to be cute and silly right after this. And we are back being sad about Wally Gator. Man, I was not ready for this.
Yeah.
I'm like actually upset.
Yeah, it's kind of upsetting.
As the news piece continues from NPR, quote, the swamp is very large, and the trapper said the chances of them finding Wally is slim to none. But this is Wally. Joey and friends are currently headed to the swamp to search and will continue daily. As of Friday, nearly 400 people had donated more than $10,000 to an online fundraiser supporting travel costs, advising costs, and possible legal and veterinary costs related to Wally's disappearance. Henny has not responded to NPR's request for comment, but in a post on his personal Facebook page, he thanked supporters for their concern and said there is a no questions asked reward for Wally's safe return. Man.
I mean, if you want to feel a little bit better, it's possible that this alligator did not like being a pet and that this was helpful.
So what you're saying is being around old people is awful?
Yes. That's exactly what I was saying.
Damn! You're just like, well, no creature would ever want to be around the elderly that much.
Yeah.
Woof.
Swimming in like a fountain in Philly? Like, come on, man. He could be in the swamp like he wants.
Yeah, the gator's like, the swamp is safe. It's Philly I'm worried about being in.
Exactly.
Old Philadelphia. Quote, Wally is very important to me as well as to a lot of other people that he makes happy and puts joy in their hearts, he wrote, alongside photos of the two of them cuddling. Wally has more than 145,000 followers on TikTok, 35,000 on Instagram, and 10,000 on Facebook. And that's not his only claim to fame. He was also the visual reference for alligator Loki in the Disney Plus show Loki.
Oh, I didn't know that was a show.
I heard about it. I didn't watch it, but I heard about Loki. I heard it was good.
Huh.
You are too good for the Marvel universe. You've made that very apparent.
I'm sorry. I just really don't like it.
You just look at it, you're like, opiate for the proletariat, and you just turn away. That's you, exactly what you said.
Almost exactly what happened.
I do think that one day I would love to show you the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I think you would really like them.
I've seen them.
Oh, you saw all of them? All three?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
You saw the third one with the origin of Rocket Raccoon?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Yeah, we did talk about it. I remember that
Yeah.
now.
No.
So
Guardians of the Guardians of the Galaxy is really, really good.
If you get a chance, have you seen the Christmas special they did?
No.
It was also really good. It's like a 40-minute Netflix or Disney thing.
Okay.
It was also really fun. They kidnapped Kevin Bacon.
Oh, okay.
And it's just Kevin Bacon, and they're like, they just kidnapped Kevin Bacon. It's very, very funny. Anyway, sorry about clearing my throat into the mic. I meant to hit mute. I'm just a mess. I'm a terrible mess ever since Wally Gator went away.
Yeah, I know.
After Wally made headlines last September for being turned away from a Phillies game, Henny told NPR that Wally, then 8 years old, came into his life at about 18 months.
Wow. It's all he's ever known.
Yeah. Don't alligators don't have a finite lifespan, do they?
I actually am not sure with alligators.
I had heard that they lived be about 50 years old in the wild.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they can live as long as 100 years or more.
Wow.
Is what I heard. But maybe it's crocodiles that have the crazy. There's one where it's like literally if they never get sick, they just never die. And now I don't know what it, or maybe that was just on Twitter and it was a lie. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that's lobsters, but I don't know for other kinds of animals.
Lobsters are fascinating.
Yeah.
I watched a YouTube video where a guy bought a lobster just at a grocery store and then raised it back to health.
Aww.
And it recovered so well and so fast. Yeah. I feel bad for lobsters because the reason that they're so popular to eat, aside from being delicious, is because they transport so well.
Huh.
Because you can put them in a box and out of water and they'll live for a week. They're just really tough, and it makes them stay fresh longer.
That sucks. So they're their ability to survive makes them survive less.
In a way, yeah. They're also giant ocean bugs, so
That's good. I like
I'm
bugs.
just mad I never got in on the endless shrimp buffet at Red Lobster before they started going bankrupt. So let's move on before I get really sad. Now it's gonna be all Wally Gator and missing out on Red Lobster. Thanks. Now I'm really sad. All of this is because of you, Chell.
I know.
So let's see. I don't know why my throat's. Oh, I do know why. It's because of the pollen in the air. Henny had had for a long time rescued and rehabilitated animals and didn't set out to keep this one.
Aww.
Quote, but Wally became special and he attached to me really super close, so I kept him. Wally loves chin rubs and giving hugs and doesn't bite when people get close to him, something Henny said he'd never seen in his 3 decades of handling alligators.
Wow.
Wally has been a source of comfort to strangers and friends alike. If social media is any indication, and he was by Henny's side for a series of difficult moments, including the loss of several family members and his own treatment for prostate cancer. He means a lot to me, Henny said. Actually, he means as much to me as my children.
Oh, God.
Henny said Wally is the first reptile to be legally certified as an emotional support animal, a process he went through for several years at his doctor's suggestion. Reptiles are permitted as pets under Pennsylvania state law. They just can't be released into the wild. In Georgia, however, quote, only licensed or permitted individuals can retain alligators in captivity, according to the DNR. I'm sorry. This is really hard. This is really sad.
No, I'm really sad too now.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
On Friday, a post from the Wally Gator Facebook account said the DNR had told Henny he would be prosecuted if he catches Wally.
What?
The DNR spokesperson declined to comment beyond their statement. Meanwhile, in a Wally fan Facebook group, worried admirers are discussing the logistical and legal aspects of his situation and suggesting tactics for trying to find him, from flooding the governor's office with calls to distributing flyers in the area calling in TV's Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Okay.
I gotta say, I mean, if the DNR wants to fine you or whatever, just punch the guy who gives you the bill in the face.
Yeah. This is just total bullshit. It's total bullshit.
It's not okay.
Yeah. Now I'm wondering though, like, because we looked to see if there's an update. I'm wondering if maybe even if they found him, if they wouldn't update it because I don't want to get in trouble.
Or maybe at least until they're out of the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
The trick there would be you would have to like pull that thing where you're like clearly lying and everybody just goes along with it, where you're like, it turns out he was back at the house.
Yeah, somebody brought him back.
I'm so forgetful.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Gosh, I did not think on my bingo card for today I didn't have cry over an alligator.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. Anyway. We've got another one. This one won't be good because it's from our good buddies at mirror.co.uk.
Yay.
Which has been suspiciously absent this month.
I noticed.
Well, I found all these animal stories, which I thought were all cute until that last one. But this one I thought you'd enjoy because it involves two of my favorite things: ghosts and radiation.
Whoa.
Inside UK's Chernobyl, locals say is haunted, but one resident refuses to leave. There's a housing estate dubbed Britain's answer to Chernobyl. That's what they call it. They call it like Britain's Chernobyl because it's like horribly beaten up and it lies abandoned except for one resident who says he'll never leave. So as a home inspector,
whoa.
Yeah. What are your first thoughts?
Well, it looks like it needs a new roof or several new roofs.
I would say it needs at least 20 some new roofs.
Yeah, I mean, you could just call it one big roof. I don't know.
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, and I can tell based on the way the roof looks that it's not slanting correctly because it looks like there's like ponding going on. See?
Mm-hmm.
See the dark spots and stuff?
Yeah, I
So
see
like the water sits there instead of, being directed off the roof. It looks like it's missing a bunch of windows. The vegetation is way, way too close to the buildings.
I love that you can get all this. This is an aerial photograph. I love that. Like, you're really killing it here.
Thanks. That's it. I mean,
okay.
I mean, I could try to go on, but why?
Do you mean about the story or in general?
I meant in general.
But why go on?
Yeah, I give up.
A UK housing estate dubbed Britain's Chernobyl has been left derelict, with some even claiming the area is haunted. But one resident claims he'll never leave. Marshall Craig, 71, refuses to up sticks and leave Clune Park in Port Glasgow. Despite most of the other residents leaving the area, less than 20 miles west of central Glasgow, was a residential hub during the heyday of the Scottish city's shipbuilding industry.
Okay.
So it sounds like there's people started leaving economically and the place went downhill.
Yeah, but it isn't probably doesn't have radiation.
No, sadly. Sorry, remember I pick a lot of these from how weird the headlines are.
Yeah.
So it said Chernobyl in the headline.
Maybe they don't even know what that is.
Isn't that a type of vodka? Chernobyl vodka. But with much of the trade now gone, the inhabitants of Clune Park have mostly cleared out. It has the highest number of below tolerable housing in the Inverclyde area, with the council having branded it a festering wound. That's in quotes. There are even concerns it could collapse if not demolished. And here's a shot of the interior for you.
Yeah, that looks pretty bad. It looks like we have whatever that wall material is. It's not drywall. Maybe like plaster.
Asbestos.
That's probably not asbestos. Plaster.
Pure asbestos.
Pure asbestos walls. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks rough.
Yeah. There's a thing in the UK, a type of building material called wimpy no fines, and that's kind of what that looks like, but I'm not sure.
What was that?
It's called wimpy no fines.
That is literally what I heard. And I was like, I clearly am mishearing you. Wimpy no pines.
No fines.
No fines?
Yeah. Like
wimpy no fines.
Yeah. It's a type of like, I don't know if it's like plaster, like kind of concrete material, named after a guy with the last name Wimpy.
Okay.
And the no fines means that there's no small particulate in it.
Oh, okay.
But it sounds stupid.
It does sound stupid.
Yeah. It's also not a good building material. So.
Well, so it's not fine at all.
No, no fines.
Some also claim the estate is haunted. Amateur ghost hunters frequent the area in search of the lost souls of ex-residents from decades gone by. But even without poltergeists and ghouls, Clune Park could be described as a ghost town. Here's another shot of the interior for you.
Wow.
The area has also become popular with urban explorers who claim Clune Park has a post-apocalyptic feel. One Reddit thread even offered up advice for those looking to do some sightseeing. One person wrote, "I grew up in the port. You can definitely access and walk around the streets. Some of the closest are also accessible, and you can easily go in and out. There are people living there still, and some of the flats that seem empty are used by drug dealers to grow weed. Some other empty ones have people squatting in them, so there's a high chance you'll bump into a few unsavory characters."
Yeah.
Another wrote, "It's not the safest place. I wouldn't advise you go to it at night, and definitely wouldn't be wandering around with expensive camera equipment." So here's another shot for you, Chell.
It looks pretty bad. It really does.
I mean, like how the windows are all different.
Well, that's what happens,
What happens when what?
When things get old, I guess. And
the windows are all different?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they're like really different. Like they're like 6 sizes of window I'm seeing.
It's also like some of them are like higher up than other ones in a way that is confusing.
Yeah, I find this a very weird looking.
Yeah, I want to go there.
Oh. Well, should we launch the GoFundMe? We'll go investigate.
Okay. No, it's too dangerous.
I do think we're onto something with you, with like paranormal investigators that are also home inspectors.
I wish that there wasn't a show that was already about that.
There is a show that's already about that?
Yeah, it was canceled and it was terrible, according to that review that I watched on YouTube.
I think according to that review that I wrote.
Yeah. I wish, man. That would be a great job.
Well, we'll dig a little deeper into UK's Chernobyl at Clune Park right after this. And we are back talking about the self-proclaimed British Chernobyl. Which is a little harsh considering what real Chernobyl went through. They just went through an economic downturn. Chernobyl was
left,
a nuclear meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
But it does kind of look post-apocalyptic. I get why they're saying it.
I mean, I guess it's just a building that's, not in great shape anymore because nobody took care of it because everybody left.
You would have taken care of it.
Yeah.
You're like, during the break, you were just like trying to get a superintendent job.
That's exactly what was happening.
I'll be the super there for free rent.
Yeah. And they were like
falling down.
I mean, no one really, okay.
They're like, you could just squat and say you're the superintendent.
Yeah. No one's going to stop you.
I mean, there are 3 people there who already say they're the king of England. So
yeah.
But back to the story, others weren't so keen on welcoming visitors. Quote, there's fuck all to see except empty flats, rubbish-strewn streets, and a pervasive sense of misery and desolation, said one user. That checks out.
Sounds right.
Another commented, what the fuck is wrong with you? You might find what you're not looking for. Arson attacks are not uncommon, and the streets are covered in litter and graffiti.
Okay.
Few residents remain in Clune Park. As of last year, Craig was one of the last. And he insists he won't up sticks, even though Inverclyde Council, which has bought more than half the properties in the area, want to knock down the lot. So they want to tear it down.
Yeah.
The retired forestry worker previously said, quote, I've lived here for 20 years, all in all, and 4 years in this particular house.
Oh.
Quite frankly, I don't want to move, and I'm quite happy here. I know it's rough sometimes, and people come in and smash stuff, but I'm perfectly happy here and don't want to leave.
Okay, I'm really confused because I thought that this person had lived there for like 30 years or something, and they went up. But it's been like 4 years in that one apartment. Like, just leave. Just go somewhere where people don't come in and smash up everything.
I don't know. Look at this guy. He looks like a problem.
Pretty tough.
Yeah.
But like, I don't remember what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe he can't afford to live anywhere else.
I mean, that may be. That's got to be a part of it. Probably.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The picture of him, he's got hand tattoos.
Yeah. Cool.
I just love the line. I know it's rough sometimes and people come in and smash stuff, but I'm perfectly happy here and don't want to leave.
Wow.
Like, does it even have electricity? Like,
I don't know.
Like, I mean, it must, right? It must have electricity.
Maybe not.
Oh, Craig even went as far as to brand the area idyllic and said his house boasted everything he needed, including a nice view, which he joked was only missing a few palm trees.
Aw.
Wow, he really loves it there. You're like, now I was laughing at him before. Now I want to be him.
Yeah.
He's so happy.
Yeah. And also he lives in a cool abandoned place.
I mean, you could do that too. It's called being homeless.
I know.
Okay. As of last year, the council were looking to pursue a compulsory purchase order, which would force Craig out of his home. After knocking down the houses, they planned to build up to 120 new properties between 2023 and 2028. An Inverclyde council spokesperson told the Mirror, quote, Over a number of years, the council has acquired more than 50% of the properties in Clune Park, with a large acquisition of properties made last year. It remains our ambition to acquire the remainder of the properties, to demolish them, and allow for the delivery of long-term regeneration of the area.
Yeah. I guess we're just gonna have to wait.
So you on Team Clyde or Team Make the Area Nice?
I think I'm on Team Clyde.
I
Yeah.
didn't really need you to answer, honestly.
Yeah.
Quote, efforts to acquire the remaining properties from the private landlords continue to be difficult. While progress has been frustratingly slow and costly, the vision to regenerate Clune Park still remains, and discussions are continuing with private property owners to achieve this aim at the earliest possible opportunity.
Okay. I mean, eventually.
It sounds like he may own where he's living.
That's kind of what I was getting, because otherwise they should just be able to throw him out.
Well, in theory, I don't know what squatters' rights are like there versus here.
Yeah.
It can be harder than you think to kick someone out of a house that they don't own. But it sounds like if he owns that, they're going to pay him.
Mm-hmm.
So he would probably be able to find somewhere nice, but he just likes living in like an insanely depressing place that people only describe as similar to Chernobyl.
I kind of get it,
Do you?
I don't know, maybe.
Well, now I'm worried about you.
I'm sorry.
We're all worried about you. It's okay, buddy.
No, it's not okay.
Oh, breaking news just came into the monthly Spooky newsroom. Centerville, Ohio, down the road from me, is about to get a Sheetz.
Wow.
They began building it.
Oh my God.
That means the nearest Sheetz will be 4 miles instead of 8 miles from me.
Wow.
Sorry, Wawa. I guess you're just staying in the east side of the country. Sheetz is taken over.
Wow.
So, I have another story basically just for you, Chell. This one's about Japan.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I know how much you like those animes and the mangas and the manganese and all that. But this is hilarious because I feel like I've never heard of such a petty story in my life.
Okay.
Japanese town battling tourists by installing screen to block view of Mount Fuji.
I know about this.
Of course you know about this. What?
There's too many tourists.
I'm sorry, where you are is beautiful.
No.
Jeez. Tourism's good. It brings money.
Mm-hmm.
The town of Fujikawa Guchiko has had enough of tourists. Known for a number of scenic photo spots that offer a near-perfect shot of Japan's iconic Mount Fuji, the town on Tuesday began constructing a large black screen on a stretch of sidewalk to block the view of the mountains. The reason... misbehaving foreign tourists.
Yep.
You know what, Japan? Enjoy your demographic winter, because the reason that you're literally like all of you are dying is because you guys hate foreigners so much.
Yeah.
They don't like them that much.
I know.
And obviously they're like, I just found out my friend Dave, one of my other, not Dave that you know, but my other friend Dave, he moved to Japan like 3 years ago. I had no idea.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep. Still single, so I guess it didn't work. All right. So Kawaguchiko is a town built on tourism, and I welcome, this is a quote, Kawaguchiko is a town built on tourism, and I welcome many visitors, and the town welcomes them too. But there are many things about their manners that are worrying, said Michi Matomochi, owner of a cafe serving Japanese sweets, Ohagi, near the soon-to-be blocked photo spot.
Wow.
Matamochi mentioned littering, crossing the road with busy traffic, ignoring traffic lights, trespassing into private properties. This isn't unhappy, though. 80% of her customers are foreign visitors, whose numbers have surged after a pandemic hiatus that kept Japan closed for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Her neighborhood suddenly became a popular spot about 2 years ago, apparently after a photo taken in a particular angle showing Mount Fuji in the background, as if sitting atop a local convenience store, became a social media sensation known as Mount Fuji Lawson, town officials say. I have the picture. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Well, too bad. Yeah, gotcha. No, so that's the picture that became famous.
Okay, so it's... Okay, got it.
It looks like Mount Fuji is growing out of that convenience store.
It really does. It's a really cool picture.
It's a very cool photo. So, so do you have any opinions about this so far?
So I feel really bad that the town feels like they have to protect themselves by putting up a big screen over a really beautiful view of Mount Fuji. Yeah.
Talk about sentences you just don't expect to ever say. Like, I personally like Mount Fuji more when it was just where monsters, emerged from. All I know about Japan, I know from Godzilla films and maybe that movie Bullet Train, which was really good. You should see Bullet Train. You would like it. Apparently, it was a manga first.
Oh,
yeah, and I'll tell you my favorite thing about I didn't read the manga, but my favorite thing about Bullet Train is that I told a friend I went and saw the movie, and he was like, "Yeah, I love the graphic novel, but I just don't think the movie will capture it because the graphic novel's so weird." And I was like, "Really?" Because Bullet Train was a weird movie. He's like, "Yeah, but there's an entire subplot about Thomas the Tank Engine." And I was like, "Dude, that's in the friggin' movie. Go see it." And he was like, "No, it's not." He was like, "No, they did not." And I was like, "It's in the movie." There is literally an entire giant subplot about Thomas the Tank Engine.
Wow.
It's so good. Are you a Thomas or are you a Diesel? Anyway.
Wow.
The mostly foreign tourists have since crowded the small area, triggering a wave of concerns and complaints from residents about visitors blocking the narrow sidewalk, taking photos on the busy road, or walking into neighbors' properties, officials said. In Europe, concerns over tourists overcrowding historic cities led Venice last week to launch a pilot program to charge day trippers a €5 entry fee.
You didn't know about that?
No.
Yeah.
What?
That's insane.
An entry fee to be in a place.
To be in the city.
A city.
Yes.
Well, I know that they charge you to come and go from in England. They charge you to come and go from London. Because I was working on a movie that was out there, and he was telling me how much the cost would be to drive in and out. You have to pay.
Is that like?
It's like a kind of toll.
Yeah, because now I'm thinking about it. It's like, well, maybe that does make sense because I don't know.
Authorities hope it will discourage visitors from arriving on peak days and make the city more livable in its dwindling residents. Well, first of all, how's it going to affect peak days better than not? It's the same price no matter when you go.
Maybe they just hope that it will limit altogether, so it'll all come down a little bit.
I think you should just be glad people want to look at your stupid, ugly Europe. How about that?
Yeah.
€5 to enter a city?
I mean, that's pretty, because also, like, I don't really know how any of that stuff is structured. So, like, if you were to walk, like, is there like a spot where
There's
like they
guy.
just charge you?
Hey, €5.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
And he's from Jersey, because apparently that was my impression.
Yeah.
Hey, you, €5. Fujikawa Guchiko has tried other methods, signs urging visitors not to run into the road and to use the designated crosswalk in English, Chinese, Thai, and Korean, and even hiring a security guard as crowd control. None worked. I mean, did you put in the Chinese, Thai, and Korean, like, sorry for, like, destroying your culture and trying to own your people as slaves for, like, 1,000 years? Did you include that so maybe they'd listen a little bit better?
They did. It doesn't really change anything, though. They're still running into the road. I
mean, fair enough. I just the other day read a history breakdown of Korea, and I had no idea just how awful Japan was to them. I was like, wow. All right. The black mesh net, when completed in mid-May, will be 2.5 meters or 8.2 feet high and 20 meters or 65.6 feet long.
Wow.
and will almost completely block the view of Mount Fuji, officials said.
Wow.
Dozens of tourists gathered Tuesday taking photos, even though Mount Fuji was not in sight due to cloudy weather.
Wow.
I feel like I want to make it a meme. I need to go there. I need to become an influencer so I can go there, and just because I want to get a picture with the block thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, check out this thing that they put here because they hate us.
Yeah.
Everybody come and get a photo.
I mean, to be really fair, like I do understand this is an area that didn't used to be touristy very much.
Yeah.
And now they're dealing with people who sound like don't observe Japanese manners, basically.
Oh, way. Their money still spends.
Whatever. Yeah, you but think about it. Let's say your neighborhood, like your view of the sky, like you had like everyone was like, wow, that's a really good sky. So they were just like coming and standing in front of your house and then like walking in your backyard. I that's not really, I can understand people not being thrilled about that.
I suppose I see what you mean, but
and they have tried other things first. This wasn't the first thing they tried. So
couldn't they just have cops issuing citations like they're normal people?
Well, I mean, they did try like security people.
If that doesn't work, then the mesh is not going to work.
Yeah.
Telling you. I just hate whenever people like places turn on tourists, because tourists bring outside money to the community, and it's a really good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but also like there's got to be a level of respect there too, especially since it's just a town.
Well, can't the owners of the businesses that are disrespected just commit harikari and set the dragon free?
I don't know how that solves the problem. How does that solve the problem?
And it makes a huge mess.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm still kind of on pain medicine. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll get back wrapping up the spooky news right after this. And we're back talking about stealing Mount Fuji from those filthy tourists. It's like The Simpsons when Mr. Burns blocks the sun because he doesn't want people having a free source of energy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really the same thing.
Do you remember that episode, though?
No, I don't watch The Simpsons.
Okay, first of all, don't say things just to hurt me. But there's an episode where literally he realizes that the only competitor for electricity, because he owns the nuclear power plant, the only competitor he has is the sun. Because not just for solar power, but people can light their homes, light their days with it.
Sure, yeah.
So he builds a giant thing and takes the sun away from Springfield, so they have to use electricity all day long.
Wow.
That's the vibe I got from we'll just block the Mount Fuji so people can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, Mount Fuji isn't yours. It's everybody's. It's our Mount Fuji. And that's going to be the name of my movement to overthrow the government of Japan.
Yeah.
It's called Our Mount Fuji.
Our Mount Fuji.
Dozens of tourists gathered Tuesday taking photos. Oh, I heard it. Yeah, even though due to cloudy weather. Anthony Hawk from France thought the screen was an overreaction. Quote, too big solution for subject not as big. Even if tourists are making trouble, doesn't look right to me, he said.
Sure.
The 26-year-old suggested setting up road barriers for safety instead of blocking views for pictures.
Huh.
I really think that there are options that aren't as dramatic and insulting as just saying we put up a thing so you can't get the photos you like anymore. It's like,
yeah,
I don't understand how just more police presence wouldn't be enough.
Maybe we don't know how big this town is. Maybe they just don't have the funds to do that.
Well, they should have the funds from all the tourists coming in. They should have money to bring in cops. You'd think.
I mean, the money is just going to the businesses
that pay taxes.
Yeah, but that takes a while to get the money.
You'd be surprised. I don't know anything about Japan's tax system.
Yeah.
Helen Poole, a 34-year-old visitor from the United Kingdom, was sympathetic to the local concern. Well, then leave. No. While traveling in Japan in the past few weeks, she has seen tourism, quote, really ramped up here in Japan from what we've seen. I can see why people who live and work here might want to do something about that. she said, noting many were taking pictures even when the mountain was not in view. That's the power of social media, she said. Well, you leave first. Like, you're part of the problem.
Yeah, it's kind of hard when it's like, I think tourism is bad. I'm a tourist, though. I mean,
but I was here before it was so bad. I liked tourism when it was underground.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Foreign visitors have flocked to Japan since the pandemic border restrictions were lifted, in part due to the weaker yen. Last year, Japan had more than 25 million visitors, and the number this year is expected to surpass nearly 32 million, a record from 2019. So they've had this many tourists before, though.
Mm-hmm. If it's been a while, I guess.
Yeah, it has been a hot minute. I'm not going to deny that.
And also, it seems like this particular spot wasn't a problem until semi-recently. So
I'm so sorry the world thinks where you live is beautiful. Jeez.
You just don't understand.
As the first step of our Mount Fuji, we're gonna level Mount Fuji.
Wow! So no one can have it?
Exactly. It's only for memories.
Wow.
According to the Japan National Tourism Organization, the government wants more tourists.
Yeah.
While the booming tourism has helped the industry, it has triggered complaints from residents in popular tourist destinations such as Kyoto and Kamakura. In Kyoto, a famous geisha district recently decided to close some private property alleys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's their right. If it's their alley.
Yeah.
Locals are uncertain about what to do. Motomochi said she cannot imagine how the black screen can help control the flow of people on the narrow pedestrian walk and the road next to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was going to say, like, maybe you could get rid of people by just having, like, really messed up, creepy laws, but they already do that and it didn't work. Hey, they finally bumped the age of consent up quite a bit, over 13, finally. As of, what was it, earlier this year, I think?
It wasn't, most places already had a higher age of consent. In Tokyo, it was already 18.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah. Yoshihiko Ogawa, who runs a more than half-century-old rice shop in the Fujikawa Guchiko area, said the overcrowding worsened in the past few months, with tourists gathering from around 4 to 5 a.m. and talking loudly.
Oh, come on. That's terrible. Did you really want to be woken up at 4 a.m.?
I thought they all have to get up at 4 a.m. anyway because they have to do, like, karate.
Oh, totally. I forgot.
I'm joking. But no. I mean, I don't know why tourists are getting there that early, but that's wild. Probably because of the crowds.
I was about to say, yeah, they got to start early so they don't have to deal with it. Which is, yeah, you can't, like, I would be so pissed off if I was living somewhere that's not a gigantic city and there were just random people standing outside my house talking at 4 a.m.
Would you want to block the mountain?
Maybe it's time. Maybe I don't need the mountain anymore. I want to sleep.
I like this part too, because this does sound frustrating, but also it's bad grammar.
Mm-hmm.
He sometimes struggles to get his car in and out of garage.
Yep.
That's the art, in and out of garage. Quote, "We've never thought we'd face a situation like this," Ogawa said, adding he is unsure what the solution might be. Quote, "I suppose we all just need to get used to it," said the man whose country sided with Hitler in World War II. All right, so I like to give Japan a lot of crap because sometimes they're really weird. But I don't get me wrong. I don't want to be just because I'm poking fun at them. I do understand you're in a small community. It's being flooded with tourists. But I also, like, I just don't think taking away a view is the solution. It sounds childish and a bit, like, I don't know, spiteful.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I guess that was the best thing because we don't know, like, what went on, when they were trying to decide this, and they did try other things. So this was just kind of their, like, nuclear option.
Maybe they could just be patient.
Yeah, I don't know. What do they get? What's going to happen if they're patient?
People will get bored and stop coming.
Oh, maybe.
Because they'll realize how lame a place it is because people who live there would block a mountain view.
Well, yeah.
I hope that tourists come from all over the world to see the net that blocks Mount Fuji. I hope it becomes an even bigger tourist attraction.
It might, honestly.
If I ever become an influencer, and who knows, it could happen any day now. You never know who it can happen to. I'm going to go straight there and talk up how amazing it is to see the tourist net and how important it is to pilgrimage the tourist net as often as possible, as early in the morning as you can.
Great.
Okay, so to wrap things up on the spooky news, we have a story from mirror.co.uk.
Oh.
Because at least their stories don't generally make me cry. Inside UK's most haunted abandoned hospital, where visitors hear little boys crying.
Oh.
Well, that's not sad, is it?
No, it's not sad. I just got confused for a second there.
Fair enough. An abandoned hospital in Kent has long been considered one of the most haunted locations in the UK, and visitors who dared to visit the spooky structure claimed they could hear a little boy crying.
I mean, it could be a real little boy, but whatever.
St. Bartholomew's Hospital in Rochester, Kent, was a go-to spot for ghost hunters or adventurers due to its mysteries dating back centuries. Creepy footage and snaps from inside the hospital show a glimpse of the now demolished building before redevelopment began. Wait, so it's not even there anymore? Is that what they're saying?
Maybe.
One of the people who dared to visit the structure is urban explorer Kim K.H. Urban X Hargreaves, who enjoys documenting ruined and abandoned buildings across the country. Her haunting images paint a creepy backdrop to the endless spooky tales inside the hospital. And what a wonderfully not blurry at all photo that is.
I don't know what's going on. It does look like the floor's wet, though.
It does look wet. Taken in 2020 before work started, the pictures were shared with Kent Live, and the Explorer also published videos on our YouTube channel. Some visitors reported seeing a woman walking through the wall in one side of the rooms, while others recounted a sinister story involving a little boy, aged 6 to 8 with brown hair and a tatty white shirt, gray sleeveless pullover, gray short trousers, and long socks. I like that they really know what he's wearing.
Yeah, well, they were looking at him. So.
Which are down by his ankles, crying in the corridors. Wow. The ghostly tales said he was always seeking his mom or dad. The legend was that his appearance usually meant there was going to be a death in one of the wards.
Oh.
Ooh, look at the spooky floor.
I can't. Is that like debris, I guess, on the floor? Or is it
I think it's detritus.
Oh, okay.
I just like the word detritus. At the time of its closure, St. Bartholomew's was the oldest operating hospital in the United Kingdom, having been open for well over 900 years.
Wow.
That means literally you had basically witch doctors at one point and then normal doctors, like today's doctors.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
That's insane.
I do notice that's one thing my European friends always point out is that like things that are old here are like really not very old.
Yeah.
It's like our country's not even 900 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The building as it was when it closed was, of course, not the original structure from 1078, but it had stood in Rochester in one form or another since the dawn of what would become the modern United Kingdom. So literally it was a different building over the years. The hospital had already existed for 137 years when the first ever Parliament of England was formed, the precursor to our modern government. Having since been gutted for refurbishment, the interior looks a lot less like a former NHS hospital and a little more like something out of a horror film. Ooh, you see the thing? Ooh,
yeah, I guess
it's just
that's
concrete,
scary.
more concrete.
Yeah.
Ooh. Go away, mirror.
Yeah, what's going on with that thing?
Dude, I don't know anymore. Many will know the hospital from their visits over the years, as one person wrote on a post from Kim's social media, and they pointed out that one room looked familiar and may have been where they were based for their pre-nursing training in the 1980s. The looming Victorian-era structure is certainly atmospheric, with high ceilings and stark interior calling back to the building's 1800s origins. Psh, that's not even that old. We have stuff from the 1800s here.
Yeah.
I call bullcrap. It's hard to believe that at the time of filming, the hospital had only been disused for 4 years.
Oh,
These
wow.
photos you're seeing is only 4 years of no use.
It doesn't really take that long, though, for something to get.
I mean, you would literally know. You're a home inspector.
No, it just takes some freeze thaws and just no maintenance.
Okay, that checks out.
Yeah.
The new development means that many of these rooms will soon be completely refurbished. What if they're like, but not all of them? Some of them were just leaving like hideous and ugly.
Yeah.
And if they are not extensively remodeled, they will likely be gone completely. As the new flat, what?
Where would they go if they're not remodeled?
The other dimension.
Oh.
You're like, oh, that's not exciting.
Yeah.
As the new flat block is designed to keep the original architectural style intact. St. Bart's, as it was known to locals, was built with charitable donations in the 19th century, having fallen into disrepair centuries earlier despite continued operation. It was then brought under NHS control in 1948 under the Labour Prime Minister Clement Attlee. Sorry, I thought it was an organization, not a person for a second there. Look at that creepy dark room.
Why are all these pictures like terrible? I
don't know. They're from 2020, all the way back then.
Wow. Yeah, I know resolution was bad in 2020.
At this time, the site provided inpatient rehabilitation wards as well as a variety of specialized clinics. It was eventually sold for 2.65 million quid in 2016 for redevelopment, a fee dwarfed by just how big the building itself is. Going further back into the past, there is a once long forgotten chapel at the heart of the original hospital. This older piece of history was built in 1115 by the Normans. Jesus. Wow. It changed hands a number of times over the centuries, falling into ruin multiple times. It was refurbished in 1962, but once again fell back into disrepair. People just can't be bothered with that church.
Really.
They're just like, let's leave it be.
Yeah, it's fine.
In more recent years, it was gutted and renovated and is now owned by Granite Jim. Not a person, like a GYM, Granite Jim.
That's what I thought, but yeah.
Oh, you were hoping it was like old Granite Jim. Yeah. Old Granite Jim lives there. Oh, that's nice. With the latest redevelopment of St. Bart's ending the hospital's connections to its storied past, these videos and images taken before refurbishment began are a final look at centuries of history. And very little ghosts. Thanks for nothing, mirror.co.uk.
That was more like a history lesson than anything about ghosts.
And I promised our listeners that they would not learn anything, and they made me a liar today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm very upset, but I'll recover. So we're going to go to a break real quick, and when we get back, we're going to talk about 25 of America's most haunted roads and highways after this. And we are back. And Chell, I want to talk about something that involves this ties to us, because one thing you and I have massively in common is we love driving.
Mm-hmm.
We love going on long trips in a car.
Yeah.
That was actually like something I feel like we kind of bonded over when we first met, because I feel like I don't have a lot of friends who like to just get in their car and go really far.
Yeah.
Just sit in your car for 10 hours, 12 hours and go a long distance. So in your many travels, how often did you drive overnight or into the night at least?
Not too often. That's not something I really like to do because I get tired and then I fall asleep.
And scared? You get scared?
I get scared because I'm going to die because I'm so tired.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Well, no, I like driving overnight as long as I'm rested because there's less traffic. It's just easier, There's just less. There's almost no cars around. Like some of my best driving memories were like coming back from Georgia and literally like I'd get home at like 5 a.m. So I drove most of the trip at night. Now, of course, I would like sleep in till noon or 1 for a trip like that. I wouldn't, get up early and work or something, but that being said, have you ever been driving and got creeped out by just how like dark and road like everything is?
I'm sorry. I really, really haven't. The only thing I would be scared of that's not falling asleep is just, running into a deer. But besides that, like, no.
I've done that too.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, one of the scariest roads I was ever on, I still don't know what road it was, but it was when I was trying to visit you for the first time and I got lost and I ended up on a road that just dead ended.
Yeah.
That was terrifying, dude. That was the next day I went out and bought a GPS. This was before smartphones. I bought a GPS. I was like, I was so lost. I was wondering how I was going to get unlost.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to get a GPS from here on out. So, well, there is a storied tradition in America, in the United States of America, of haunted roads. And I found a little compilation of 25 of the strangest and most haunted roads in America, courtesy of whatliesbeyond.net.
Okay.
And this was contributed by, I want to mention, her name's Graveyard Bride is the name of the woman who posted this.
That's a pretty good name.
Yeah, and it's a recent post from early last year. Okay. So, I mean, compared to some of the other ones. So she writes, the United States is full of haunted and cursed roads with intriguing backstories. While many of the tales of tragedies and dastardly deeds are based on actual events, others have been invented by thrill-seeking teenagers from a time when young people were much more imaginative than they are today.
Oh, fuck that. I'm sorry. I don't subscribe to any of that bullshit.
Oh, really? You don't think kids are imaginative anymore? Or you think they are more imaginative?
Yeah, I think they're probably the same amount of imaginative.
Really?
Yeah.
They just put it all on TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay. The following list is by no means comprehensive, and those mysterious roads in which the haunting falls solely within the haunted bridge category are omitted. Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
They omitted haunted bridges. That's good. Why that makes sense, because there were several in there. I was like, where are they? It's because they're haunted bridges. Because to include them would be prohibitive. So here's something exciting. The first one is from your ancestral homeland of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Annie's Road in Tattawa, New Jersey.
I don't know where that is.
You don't know where Tattawa is?
No.
Or Totowa?
I still don't know where that is.
How do you not know? You're supposed to know all of Jersey all the time. Forever.
No.
You're just completely, holy crap. Tattawa, New Jersey's right by where I used to live.
That's why I wouldn't know it, because I'm not familiar with
North Jersey.
Yeah.
I thought it wouldn't be. Yeah, it's like right between Wayne and Patterson. And I lived like right by there. Damn. I should have went to Annie's Road.
Yeah.
Well, let's learn about it. According to the legend, some years ago, a young woman was killed in a motor vehicle accident on Riverview Road. I've been on Riverview Road. Shit, that's so funny. On Riverview Road. I know that because there's a Riverside Road and a Riverside, New Jersey. There's like a lot of river roads. So you had to remember the difference between all of them or else you get horribly, horribly lost.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I know exactly where I've been on a part of Riverview Road.
Wow.
Shit, that's funny. Killed in a vehicle accident on Riverview Road near the gates of Laurel Grove Cemetery. Ever since, the lady's spirit, now known as Annie, I guess you choose a new name when you die, is occasionally seen on the side of the highway near the spot where she died. And if anyone attempts to follow her, she, much like Chicago's Resurrection Mary, strolls into the cemetery and disappears.
Oh.
This story figured prominently in the February 1992 Hail Mary murder, wherein 17-year-old Robert Solomine Jr. was strangled to death by James Wanger, also 17, in a plot hatched by Wanger and 3 other teens.
Oh man, they're just kids.
Well, old enough to be tried as adults.
Yeah.
Sorry. But that one, I was not expecting the first one to be like a place I've friggin' been. That is so wild.
Yeah.
Next time I'm up in North Jersey visiting, I'm going to check out that spot.
You should.
I really am, because it's near where I stay when I'm in North Jersey. So
cool.
This next one is Boy Scout Lane in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. There's
Yeah.
more than one version. What did you say?
I said, yeah.
Oh, just your opinion of Wisconsin?
Yeah, I
I
guess.
kind of
I
like
don't know.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's great.
It's kind of nice. There's more than one version of the story about this road off West River Drive, but the most popular version has it that back in the 1950s, a group of Boy Scouts hiked to this heavily wooded spot for a campout. At some point in the night, while the boys were sleeping contentedly in their tents beneath the trees, their troop leader, for reasons unknown, stealthily entered their tents and killed them all.
Oh no!
One by one.
Wow, he managed to kill them all without any of them getting away or noticing in
Oh, they're
time?
little children. You just cup the mouth and I shouldn't. What am I? I'm just, you're just like, quiet you, stab, stab, stab. And then you do the next one.
Okay, I guess I understand. It just seems like it would be a lot of it'd be really difficult to get it to work out perfectly.
I don't think this is an ideal situation for killing a bunch of Boy Scouts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some traveling this dead-end stretch of road during the night claim the murdered boys still haunt the area and appear at random, often covered in blood from their wounds. The location where the mass murder allegedly occurred is now privately owned, and trespassing is discouraged.
Oh, well.
Oh, well?
Yeah, we tried. We can't go there. Can't trespass.
That'd be a great place to kill Boy Scouts now. Because like a bloody Boy Scout would be on the road and people are like, it's a ghost, and just drive away and never tell anyone because they'd be like, they'll think I'm crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
So bad news. We're back in Jersey already.
Wow.
This time, Clinton Road in West Milford, New Jersey.
Okay.
Which, is that central? I think West Milford's central Jersey.
I think it's south.
Is it? Let's find out. West.
It's definitely not something.
Milford. I feel like I don't think I've been to West Milford, but I've definitely driven through West Milford. So I feel like it's central Jersey. Oh, no, we're totally wrong. West Milford's North Jersey.
Oh, man.
Like even further north than where I lived, like way north.
Okay.
I don't recognize any, but that explains why it sounded familiar. Because it was probably on road signs, but I've never been up that far north. That's out by Newfoundland.
Oh.
Well, the Newfoundland, New Jersey.
Oh.
Which is which is the furthest I went that up north in there.
Okay.
That's where my my landlord lived in Newfoundland, New Jersey, and I would go there to drop off my rent checks. So I never went any further north than that. So sadly, I don't have an experience with this. But so far, South Jersey is really slumping, man. Where's your haunts?
I don't know.
On this lonely, roughly 10-mile highway beginning at Route 23. Yep, it's exact because do you remember where I lived? I lived right off Route 23.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Route 23 in Newfoundland, New Jersey, there are reports of phantom headlights that appear out of nowhere and closely follow drivers.
Oh.
Additionally, at a bridge near Dead Man's Curve, people say if one tosses a coin into the water, the pitiful spirit of a drowned boy will toss it back.
That should be so easy to test, though.
However, the scariest location is the spot where an old house known as Cross Castle once stood. According to local tales, those who trespass have been chased by Satanists, modern-day druids, and others who utilize the site for their dark and mysterious rituals.
I mean, it's possible people just live over there and you're trespassing and they're just trying to run you off their property, but sure.
Remember when I've talked to you about Frankenstein's castle or the witch's castle that's right by me? That's part of the story people tell is that like if you hang out there at night, like druids and Satanists like come out of the woods and start chasing you.
Yeah. But maybe they just do that everywhere. That's their thing.
That's just their thing. That's what they like. Well, now we're headed to Pennsylvania.
Wow.
But I don't know where Chad's Ford, Pennsylvania is.
I do because it's by me.
It is?
Yeah.
Yay! We did it.
Yay.
Well, this one is called Cossart Road in Chad's Ford, Pennsylvania. Maybe you should go there. That could be fun.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think roads are that cool to be scared on, but whatever.
Those who have seen the 2004 movie The Village are at least peripherally familiar with the area around Cossert Road, aka Devil's Road.
Oh.
It was because of the weird legends associated with the area that M. Night Shyamalan chose it as the setting for his film about a reclusive group of people who are afraid to leave the confinement of their settlement because of, quote, those we don't speak of, i.e. the dangerous creatures in the forest.
I didn't like
A little
that
more
movie.
than 2 miles in length, the road is undeniably spooky. You're like, I'm ready to deny it.
Yeah, exactly.
Particularly at night and in places where the crooked trees are on either side and they seem to be bending away from the narrow, winding byway.
Are they bending away because the branches have been cut so that they're not over the road?
Why are you ruining it?
Sorry.
According to legend, the ruins of an old abandoned mansion built in the nearby woods by the DuPont family were later taken over by a satanic cult known for years as the Cult House. Those who attempt to locate the place are chased by, quote, something demonic.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good spooky story.
Yeah.
Well, now we're heading into my stomping grounds, although we actually were way closer to my New Jersey stomping grounds. I can't believe that. That's wild. Excuse me. So this one is Dead Man's Curve in Claremont County, Ohio. And I don't know where that is. So I'm it's down by Cincinnati. Okay, so not far from me, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe 40 minutes away. Located in Bantam. Oh, yeah, I know where Bantam is. Located in Bantam, where Route 222 meets Route 125. I've been on Route 222. Many have lost control of their vehicles on this curve. And before the advent of the automobile, horse-drawn conveyances sometimes overturned as drivers attempted to guide their animals along this difficult bend in the road.
Yeah.
Accordingly, in 1968, when the highway was widened, the curve was straightened to some extent. Unfortunately, around a month later, 5 teens in a Chevrolet Impala collided with a driver operating a green Roadrunner, traveling at an estimated 100 miles per hour.
Oh, shit.
It was following this crash that people began reporting 2 phantom cars in the area, one of which appears to be a vintage Chevy Impala. Other apparitions include a faceless hitchhiker, also a result of the 1968 incident, and a horse-drawn carriage, believed to be the manifestation of a long ago mishap. That gave me kind of chills a little bit. That was fun.
I do have a question.
Go on.
Can cars be ghosts? How does this work?
Absolutely.
Like how?
If a car dies and it has unfinished business, then it would become a ghost.
So what about are those car lots with all those junked cars? Are those
junkyards?
Yes.
Yes, they're haunted by cars.
Oh.
But only the cars that aren't there anymore.
Oh.
It'd be weird if it was just haunting where it was sitting.
What? But if it's dead, but it's... How do we know when the car dies?
When the mechanic tells you it's going to be more than the Blue Book value to fix it.
Oh.
We've all been there.
Oh.
I know. That's something truly scary. Way too scary for this podcast.
Yeah.
Is auto repair.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break and get back to the 25 most haunted and strange roads in America right after this. Looking for adventure. Head out on the highway. Okay, anyway, sorry. That was a bad choice. We're talking about the 25 most haunted and strangest roads in America. And this next one is called Devil Worshipper Road.
Yeah.
Clever.
It's fine.
This is in Shibuda and Waynesboro, Mississippi.
Huh.
The narrow Waynesboro-Shibuda Road winds its way through 18 miles of dense forest and farmland. And there are dark spots where the sun shines only in winter after all the deciduous trees have lost their foliage. I learned a new word.
Yay.
At night, lone drivers can easily become spooked, particularly when a horned, satyr-like creature brandishing a pitchfork suddenly appears in their headlights.
Oh.
Legend has it that many years ago, a local farmer made a pact with the devil. And when he died, Satan turned him into a 7-foot-tall, cloven-hoofed demon destined to haunt the location where he practiced his worship of the Horned One until Judgment Day.
That sounds like something I'd want.
Does that sound like a deal you'd make?
Yeah, it was like, oh, when you die, we'll just make you into like this really tall like demon thing. And then you can just hang out. I'd be like, sure, sounds good.
You'd be like, bet.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm learning a lot about you very quickly on that one.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Actually, it does sound kind of fun.
Yeah, because like you're definitely not like dead, sort of. You get to be a really big, tall demon thing.
Yeah, slave to the Satan. To the Satan.
Yeah.
To the Satan.
To the Satan.
Over the years, the story has attracted practitioners of the dark arts who gather in the woods just off the road and attempt to raise Old Scratch himself.
Huh.
People have reported seeing strange lights in the forest and finding strange burned areas, pentagrams, and other evidence of ritualistic activity. There also have been reports of vehicles shaking and stalling for no apparent reason, and something leaving mysterious handprints on windows.
Do they look like people prints? Sorry.
People print? No, what they're like human handprints.
Yeah, okay. Because if they're like, it'd be cool if they were like prints that like looked vaguely human, but then they clearly weren't.
Hoof prints.
Yeah.
Many claim the entire 18-mile stretch of highway is haunted. Others, however, insist the Goat Man is seen only on the section of highway north of Clear Creek Baptist Church because the devil cannot pass a holy structure.
Oh.
I want to mention, by the way, these are the tall tales. These are not like, this is the information spread by campfire, in case I wasn't clear about that. That's why these are fun, because they're like all in.
Yeah.
But I'm down with the Goat Man.
Yeah, sure.
So, and I love the old timey ones where you can just imagine like somebody sitting on a plantation going, and then he made a deal with the devil.
Mm-hmm.
And now he wanders as a goat man. And you're like, wow. I love that old timey stuff.
Yeah.
All right. This one is the longest highway so far. And I believe this is the longest haunted highway in the world.
Wow.
You probably have heard of it.
Probably.
The Devil's Highway in New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah.
I haven't heard of it.
Originally designated Route 666.
Oh.
And it did used to exist. There used to be a Route 666. In some areas there still is, but it's mostly been redesignated. I'd have to look into it a little bit more. The 193-mile road beginning in Gallup, New Mexico, was considered unlucky from the beginning because it bore the number of the beast. 666, baby. Some claimed there were many unexplained accidents along the godforsaken stretch, and lone drivers sometimes reported encountering faceless hitchhikers, skinwalkers, hellhounds, and other entities of the supernatural realm. Finally, in 2003, the highway was redesignated US 491. But the name change didn't exorcise the alleged demonic activity, for there are still reports of strange things along the lonely road, and those who find themselves driving the former Route 666 at night risk being forced off the highway by a phantom black car.
Huh.
That's such a classic. Route 666.
Yeah, I don't know about it.
Really? You never heard of it?
I don't think so.
Wow, that one I'd always heard about.
Yeah.
Route 666.
I mean, it's a good. It makes sense,
Because it's a number.
Yeah, and
they use
numbers mean things. Yeah.
This next one is down south in Hornet, Missouri. It's called the Devil's Promenade. Ooh, just that name.
Yeah,
Devil's
I like that name.
Promenade.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't say promenade enough.
We don't.
You and I are going to work on that. We're going to try and work it into conversations.
Okay.
Every evening, something very odd happens along a strip of East 50 Road, aka Spooklight Road, south of Hornet. The Spooklight, as it's called, is a basketball-sized sphere seen through the trees long after the sun has completely set. It is usually green, but has been known to shift in color and size, and nobody knows what causes it. Do you have theories? You look like you have a theory.
I mean, there was one. I don't think this is the same one, but there was like these lights that people would see somewhere else. It was like on a different road, and it turned out it was headlights. After years and years and years, they figured out that there was a stretch of highway that like it turned for a second. So probably headlights.
It could be headlights, yeah.
Yeah. I would think like if I saw a big scary orb light, I'd go find it. Like go figure out where it is.
Rest in peace, Michelle. Rip.
You wouldn't, like, if you saw a big light all the time on this road, you wouldn't want to go see what exactly it is?
If I saw it all the time, I would get very curious.
Yeah. Yeah.
There have been spooklight sightings in the area since the 19th century.
That's a long time.
And according to legend, the mysterious luminescence is the spirit of two lovers searching for each other.
Oh, fine.
Sorry, geez. Maybe they were just really good friends.
Okay, that's a little better.
So here's one that goes in a different direction.
Yeah.
This is in Nevada, the Extraterrestrial Highway.
Oh.
I've heard of this one. State Route 375. It begins approximately 65 miles north of Las Vegas at Crystal Springs and runs 98 miles northwest to Warm Springs. Just south of 375 is Homey Airport, also known as Groom Lake, which is often referred to as Area 51.
Oh.
I like it. When we're talking about this stuff, you must like take moments where you're like, why does he know all this boring, stupid horror crap? I knew, I mean, this one's pretty exhaustive. I've probably known 3 of these so far.
Wow.
Vaguely. I'm not going to claim I knew them perfectly or anything. And the road passes through Rachel, home of the Little Alien Inn, a motel, restaurant, and souvenir shop that capitalizes on the region's UFO sightings. Those traveling Route 375 at night often witness mysterious lights and other aerial phenomenon.
Yay.
Well, that one also makes sense because there's like Air Force bases and shit everywhere there. But it does make you wonder, maybe. Maybe not. This one is from Brooklet, Georgia, and it's just called Ghost Road.
Good.
You like that? You like the simplicity?
Yeah, you're just telling it like it is. Ghost Road.
Ghost Road. Railroad Bed Road, which is, as its name suggests, the site of a former railroad, is haunted by a ghost light, said to be the specter of a signalman who was decapitated when he was hit by a train. The man's body was recovered, but for some reason, his head was never found.
Oh.
And to this day, his spirit has walked the location where it happened in search of his missing head.
Like, so, I mean, it's so confusing because it's like the part of the spirit, like the head isn't part of the spirit, because wouldn't you, like, be able to know where you are?
Well, he's trying to find his head so that then he can have the spirit part of his head.
So the head is just like not connected.
I'm not going to claim I'm an expert in ghosts, but I will say that we have a long and storied history on Earth of ghosts with no heads.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just trying to figure out how that works.
I know you've heard of the Headless Horseman. But are you familiar with the Doulahan?
I don't know.
Doulahan is a word that literally is. There are so many stories of headless horsemen in Europe, especially in the UK, that they have a word for it. It's called a Doulahan. It's a ghost with no head that rides a horse.
Interesting.
That's how common it is over there.
I wonder if it's like they for some reason they aren't able to manifest all the way.
And so they're trying their best.
Yeah, we're just seeing kind of an incomplete manifestation. They just didn't get to the head yet.
Well, now I feel bad because I laughed at them and they're just trying their best, just like me. Shoot. Yeah. All right, fine. You win this one. Robertson Road, which is a part of Ghost Road, a narrow unpaved thoroughfare connecting railroad bed road with Highway 80, is haunted by a digging ghost, and the apparition of a man with a spade diligently digging for something at the side of the road. Some say he's digging his own grave. Ooh, that's creepy. While others claim he's digging up a head, possibly the decapitated signalman's head. Railroad Bed Road has such a sinister reputation, it was actually featured in a documentary.
Oh.
Which now I want to watch. The link, when it said documentary, literally takes you to the thing I'm already reading.
I hate that.
Yeah, well. So this next one is in Maine. So now we're doing New England finally. Took us a while.
Yeah.
This is called Haynesville Road in Aroostook County, Maine.
All right.
This particular stretch of road, designated Route 2A, is so notorious there's a song about it. A Tombstone Every Mile, released in 1965 by truck driver turned singer Dan Curlis. In addition to an inordinate number of accidents, the highway is the domain of a vanishing hitchhiker who appears suddenly in the headlights of lone travelers or walks along the side of the road waiting for someone to give her a ride. Some say she is the wraith of a young woman involved in a crash one frigid night who froze to death before help arrived. A second apparition encountered on the Haynesville Road is that of a young girl hit and killed by a semi-truck. While there is no record of the lady who died of hypothermia, two 10-year-old Haynesville girls, Janet Marie Roos and Melody Shorey, were indeed killed when they were hit by a truck on August 22nd, 1967.
That sucks.
That is sad. Creepy, though. This is fascinating. I'm really into this list.
Good.
Is it doing it for you, or are you just like, roads aren't scary? Whatever.
I still don't think roads are scary, but yeah.
Well, maybe you'll find this one scary. It's the I-4 dead zone in Sanford, Florida.
Okay.
A section of Interstate 4 near Lake Monroe was constructed over a location known as the Field of the Dead, where victims of an 1887 yellow fever outbreak were buried.
Gotta put them somewhere.
Truckers and others who frequently drive through the area have reported strange occurrences, including phantom voices coming over radios and cell phones inexplicably going dead. Some have even told of catching fleeting glimpses of human shapes on the side of the highway, which has a higher than average accident rate. That might just be because it's Florida.
Maybe.
So we're staying in the South. This one is a bit more advanced. This one has a lot to it.
Okay.
This is called Jack Cole Road in Blount County, Alabama. According to legend, for well over 100 years, there have been an unusually high number of deaths associated with this dark, unpaved dead-end road in the town of Hayden, just north of Birmingham. Although some of these individuals, such as those who succumbed to cholera around 1900, did not actually die on the road itself, they were apparently transported to their final resting places along this route that cuts through the thick woods. You just think that's too much of a stretch?
Yeah, I do.
They were transported on the road?
And so they're like, oh, let's just go back to that road. That was a good place. Sure.
Well, here's a creepier one for you, because this has a lot of information. Also, at some point, hunters came across an old cabin near the road wherein they discovered the mummified remains of a woman whom some believed was a witch responsible for many of the strange events in the area.
Oh.
Then, in the 1960s, the body of a local farmer, the victim of an axe-wielding fiend, was found at the end of Jack Cole Road.
Wow.
Sometime later, a photographer taking photos in the region reported seeing strange things in the woods adjacent to the thoroughfare, and shortly thereafter, he too was found dead on or near Jack Cole Road.
Sounds like they were stumbling onto something that they shouldn't have.
You don't know how high up this goes! But not all strange things associated with the location occurred in the distant past. In 2015, the home of Lisa Weaver, a 52-year-old disabled woman who lived on Jack Cole Road, caught fire, and when firemen arrived, they discovered the bodies of her 3 dogs in the rubble, but Mrs. Weaver's corpse was nowhere to be found. The lady had spoken with her son, Michael Weaver, minutes before the fire, so there's no doubt she was home when the conflagration started. Yep, that's the word. 8 years later, she's still listed as a missing person.
Oh.
That one's really strange.
Yeah, that's.
One more piece. This is how I told you there's a lot to this one.
Yeah.
Many people traveling the road at night have reported seeing mysterious lights and human shapes darting about in the woods. Presumably, these phantoms are not of this world and, as such, cannot really harm anyone. But the same isn't true of the half Bigfoot, half wolf creature that has terrorized some who find themselves on Jack Cole Road on nights of the full moon.
Wow. Oh, wait. So is it Bigfoot that got bitten by a werewolf?
I think that's what it is.
Oh my God.
2 men who allegedly encountered the beast late one moonlit night returned the following day and discovered clawed, 5-toed tracks they estimated to be at least 18 inches in length.
Wow.
So we've got a few more to go before we wrap this up, but we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with even more haunted roads. And we are back with even more of these haunted road stories. I'm excited. I love campfire stories. I love like the urban legends that are whispered among idiots like me. So we've got even more haunted roads here. We're going to keep going. We got 25 total. There's a whole lot of them. This one's called Jeremy Swamp Road in Southbury, Connecticut. So we're back in New England.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder where Southbury, Connecticut is. It's a small state. No matter where it is, I'll be like, that's near where my grandparents lived.
Yeah.
There's a local tale that many years of inbreeding produced a race of humanoids with enormous heads atop puny bodies, commonly known as melon heads.
Oh.
I've read about, there's a Terrifying and True coming up about melon heads.
Oh.
These strange beings inhabit caves and tunnels in wooden areas and live off nuts, berries, and small animals, including domestic pets.
Mm.
However, should the opportunity arise, they aren't averse to feasting on a tasty teenager or two. Adults whose cars stall at night on Jeremy Swamp Road have little to worry about, but young people are in danger of being captured, killed, and consumed by melon heads, for the nocturnal creatures seem to have an affinity for young, sweet meat.
Okay, I can understand that.
Unfortunately, those teens who think they're safe by avoiding this specific road at night are deluding themselves. For Zion Hill Road in Milford, Sawmill City's Road in Shelton, Velvet Street in Trumbull, and various other locations in Easton, Fairfield, Monroe, New Haven, Oxford, Stratford, and Seymour have their own colonies of melon heads.
Uh-oh.
So this story says basically, TLDR, too long, didn't read, Connecticut, maggoty with melon heads.
Yes.
Just all over the place, which is weird because Ohio, we're considered one of the first places that melon heads started.
It's
but
kind
it's
of
been all over.
Yeah, kind of far. They must have traveled pretty,
And the highways, they can find the highway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they probably have cars too sometimes.
Probably, if they can fit in them with their
Oh.
big melon heads.
Yeah.
This one is in Van Cleve, Mississippi. John's Bayou Road. Several motor vehicle accidents have occurred in the same swampy location on this road, with most survivors reporting a similar series of events. Drivers stop upon seeing what appears to be a great deal of blood on the road. After investigating the unusual sight and returning to their cars, headlights suddenly appear out of nowhere and a dark-colored van crashes into their stationary vehicle before disappearing into the darkness.
Huh.
Rumor has it that some years ago, a newly licensed teenager who came home with the front of his car bashed in swore his vehicle was hit by the dark van on John's Bayou Road, but no one believed him. That sounds like a lie.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so this one is a little bit of my state, a little bit of your state.
Huh.
Because this is Kelly Road in Ohioville, Pennsylvania. Do you know where Ohioville, Pennsylvania is?
I bet you it's west, but I have no idea.
What makes you think that? Just because that's near Pennsylvania? Or near Ohio, rather?
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see.
Also, I've
wow,
never
it
been
is
there.
right on the border
Yeah, that makes sense. It's
of Jersey.
Of
No,
Jersey?
I'm just kidding. No, it's not. No, it's right on the border of Ohio. Yep. Wow, it's actually... Yeah, okay. So anyway, it's right on the border. It is said that when animals scamper across the section of Kelly Road known as Mystery Mile, they become deranged.
Oh.
Additionally, the ghost of a pale boy in ragged clothing haunts the area, and people who've seen this apparition say the lad is surrounded by a bright, white aura-like light. I mean, it makes animals go crazy. That's a new one, actually, though. We haven't heard that one before.
Yeah.
So let's see. The next one is in New Orleans, Louisiana, Mona Lisa Drive. Around the turn of the 20th century, a rich philanthropist donated money to establish a portion of what is now known as City Park in New Orleans on condition that it include a statue of his beloved daughter, Mona, who had recently died.
Aww.
Unfortunately, the statue, which was reportedly located near Poppy Seed's fountain, was repeatedly vandalized by wild teenagers and eventually removed.
Aww.
Ever since, people walking or driving along what some call Mona Lisa Drive at night have occasionally seen and heard the moaning white wraith of the lovely Mona. Those foolish enough to stop their cars to await her appearance have found scratches on their vehicles the following day. In another version of the story, the daughter's name was Lisa, and because her ghost supposedly moaned, she came to be known as Moaning Lisa, which through the years became Mona Lisa.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I also want to mention, like, there are all those stories about, like, handprints on cars, like, of children when your car is on a road that they're trying to, like, push your car over. I think those are more bridges, though. Maybe we'll find one in here.
Yeah.
This next one, we finally land in California.
Wow, I didn't think we were
Montecito.
going to go there.
Yeah, I was hoping not. No, but this is in Montecito, California. It's Ortega Ridge Road. Those driving this section of road have reported seeing 3 nuns, aka Las Tres Hermanas, at the side of the road of the highway. According to the legend, the nuns were attacked and killed by bandits many years ago, though why robbers would target nuns who had taken vows of poverty and wouldn't have been carrying anything of value, no one knows.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they were bad dudes.
Yeah,
They were
probably.
just trying to prove how bad they were.
Yeah. I killed nuns.
I love that it's like now we're in California, and just to make sure you know that this is influenced by Mexicans, this is about nuns, because it's always about Catholicism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now we're heading back to Wisconsin.
Yay.
This is the Owaissa Street. People driving or walking along the section of North Owaissa Street adjacent to Riverside Cemetery after dark sometimes encounter the apparitions of mourners in old-fashioned attire. Whether the phantoms in black are connected to the legend of Kate Blood, whose grave has become a favorite tourist attraction, particularly with teenagers, is unknown. They should try covering it with like a cloth so you can't see it.
Yeah.
If it's attracting too many tourists.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Because of her name and the fact that her burial plot is situated a distance from the others in the sprawling, heavily wooded cemetery, there are rumors the lady was either a malevolent witch or a mad axe murderess. I mean, it's one or the other in life.
It's gotta be one of those guys.
Yeah. In fact, she was neither. Just a young wife and mother who died of tuberculosis at the age of 23.
Aww.
She probably had a dark past. I think she had a dark past.
Great.
Oh, we're back in California.
Huh.
This one's called Prospectors Road in Garden Valley, California. During the California Gold Rush, when thousands of weary men dug day and night in hopes of striking it rich, those who bragged about their finds were in danger of being murdered by unscrupulous miners.
Yeah.
The phantom of one such victim is said to appear from the bushes on this narrow road, exclaiming in a harsh whisper, "Get off my claim!" Ooh.
Yeah.
Now let's head back to Nevada, but this time let's go to Las Vegas.
Okay, sure.
This one's called Sand Hill Road. So what show do you want to go to while we're in Vegas?
I really don't want to go to any of the shows in Vegas.
So what do you want to do in Vegas? Just go to the Pawn Stars place?
I was just thinking we could just walk around and see what's there and not go in any places.
All the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Sorry.
So Sand Hill Road in Las Vegas. The whispers and moans of a couple who died in an underground tunnel are occasionally heard on South Sand Hill Road near its intersection with East Olive Street. Additionally, there have been reports of the specter of an old woman who chases people and who chases and has been known to chase people. Okay.
Yeah.
A little off. Hey, still better than NPR was doing earlier.
Yeah.
So now we're headed to Nebraska.
Okay, we haven't been there yet, I don't think.
Yeah, we have not. Nebraska City, Nebraska.
Oh.
This is called Seven Sisters Road. Officially known as L Road, the local name for this 2-lane highway approximately 5 miles south of Nebraska City is Seven Sisters Road. Legend has it that in the early 1900s, a man who lived on a nearby farm with his parents and 7 sisters got into an argument with other family members. And when the parents went visiting that evening, he somehow enticed or forced his sisters outside one by one and summarily hanged them from trees located atop several hills.
Oh.
Although the trees are gone and some of the hills have been leveled, on moonlit nights, people hear what sounds like the blood-curdling cries of women in distress.
So foxes?
So foxes, that's just, as long as no one goes to help, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Whether they think they're ghosts or foxes, as long as no one helps.
I will say, side note, I was watching a paranormal show where this guy was riding a dirt bike and he heard someone screaming for help and he was scared. So he left. And I was just okay, man. And it's possible it wasn't a real person and it was a monster because it sounded really, really distressed. And I was I don't know, call the police, see what's going on. I hope this person was okay.
They're fine.
They're dead.
You worry too much. They're fine. Well, then now they're a ghost. See, it's all win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, you don't get it. It's all win.
Yeah.
It's all a win.
That sounds good.
I'm glad you like it. All right, so there was more to that. Sorry.
Oh.
So the women in distress, but then there's also cars inexplicably stalling on the road and the ringing of phantom bells that emanate from an old family graveyard.
Oh.
Those who have researched this legend believe the phenomena predates the story, which was likely fabricated to explain the strange activity.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back in Jersey, baby.
Yay.
This is Shades of Death Road.
Ooh.
In Alamuchee Township.
I would guess that that's north again.
Yeah, it's north.
Mm.
It's actually near Blairstown.
Okay.
And Hackettstown.
Okay.
So, yes, the road sign actually reads Shades of Death.
Cool.
That's on the road sign.
Cool.
Which is creepy enough, but what makes this road even more chilling by night aren't the reports of thick fog and hangings that allegedly took place in the area, but rather the strange white light that appears just off the road at a place called Lenape Lane.
Is that possibly in Lenape?
Lenape? It could be. Sorry, Lenape Lane. You're so mean.
Aww.
It is said if the light turns red, the person watching it will die within a year.
Oh, well, I mean, do we have any evidence?
We don't need
Has
evidence.
anyone
We got
died
fun
with it?
stories.
Okay, fine.
Ooh, this one's called Spook Road in Brandon, South Dakota.
Okay.
Have you ever been on a spook road or a spook hollow?
I don't think so.
I've driven past 3 in my life where I've looked at the
Wow.
GPS or looked at the sign and it said Spooks Hollow, and I'm like, what? In the spring and summer, this approximately 3-mile section of 264th Street containing 5 bridges, all of which cross Beaver Creek, can be inviting. But on dark nights after the trees have lost their leaves, it can be terrifying, particularly for those looking for ghosts. While no one is certain who or what haunts the location, some claim one crosses 5 bridges when driving east from Split Rock Boulevard, Route 11, but on the way back, there are only 4.
Uh-oh.
It
Actually,
is
that
on the
could
way-
happen.
Do what?
That could happen.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Spooky. It is on the way back that thrill seekers sometimes see the figure of a hanging man, either dangling from a tree on the side of the highway or on the road itself. Those who claim to have seen the apparition say the face is bloated, the eyes bulging, and the tongue hanging out. The face that Michelle's making is the best. One paranormal investigator who checked out Spook Road remarked, even though there is no documented history to support any of the claims of the road, is it possible that something is drawn to the area because people want it to be haunted? Remember that saying, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we got our last one.
Okay.
And I'm surprised. This is the first time we've went to Texas.
Oh.
This one's in Marshall, Texas. It's called Stagecoach Road. For many years, stagecoaches rumbled along the red dirt thoroughfare, transporting passengers and goods to and from Shreveport, Louisiana, and Marshall, Texas. Their iron-rimmed wheels cutting deeper into the clay with each trip. Today, the banks on either side are 10 feet high in some places, and the overhead trees totally block the light. It is said that at one point in time, a voodoo queen chased out of New Orleans took up residence in Marshall, where she sold potions and lucky gree-grees to locals and visitors and generally lived peacefully until her body was found on the side of Stagecoach Road.
Of course.
Even though it's been well over 100 years since the witch woman's murder, people say that when the moon is full, her malevolent specter wanders the spooky old road, muttering curses against the town and shaking shrunken heads at anyone she meets.
Wow.
A historical plaque marking Stagecoach Road is located at Pine Bluff Baptist Church, approximately 2.5 miles south of the road itself. That was a long one, but that was really fun. There were so many. I love a simple, fun ghost story. I need to look at what lies beyond.net a little bit more. It seems like they have a lot of that stuff. So, but we're going to take a quick break and we're going to wrap up the show. We're going to talk a little bit about horror media I've seen in the theater. You have a Reddit that's creepy, and then I will set Michelle free finally, as she would like, I'm sure. But we'll be right back after this. And we are back wrapping up this May 2024 edition of Monthly Spooky. So first I wanted to talk a little bit about 2 horror movies I saw in the theater.
Yeah.
As I'm wanting to do. I watched Tarot, a new horror film that was just released a couple of weeks ago, which I'm shocked there was not a mainstream horror movie called Tarot already.
Yeah, me too.
I was highly amused to find out that the people at the theater said people were saying tarot, which makes me so happy, because I was joking that I wanted to try to convince people it was pronounced tarot, but apparently they were doing it on their own. That made me so happy.
Have to, yeah.
But so Tarot, not the best film I've ever seen. Not the best horror film, but it was a lot of fun. It was a teen horror movie. Like lots of teens are in it and they're all in danger and they're getting killed. It was a lot more violent than I was expecting from a PG-13 film. Also, the film only vaguely talks about tarot. It's actually much more about horoscopes. Because the original title was Horror Scope.
Which I still think is a better title.
I do too. And it was based on a book of the same name. So, but they tell a horoscope using tarot cards as well and yada, yada, yada. Okay. So there you have it. But I really enjoyed it. If it's still playing in the theater near you and you want to see a horror movie with some good scares, that's the one to see. I don't think you have to reinvent the wheel. I think sometimes you can just go see a fun horror movie at the theater and that can be all that is. And the other horror film I saw is one that's being maligned by everybody in the horror movie community that I can find. And it's The Strangers, Chapter 1.
I don't even know what
Have you ever seen The Strangers, the original Strangers from 2008?
No.
It's pretty good. It's a home invasion movie. Very tense. They made a sequel in 2014 or 2015 that was really fun. And now they're relaunching it. They made 3 movies back to back and they're releasing them one at a time in the theater. This one's not performing that badly, but I had people on my Twitter and stuff saying that this was like the worst film they'd ever seen.
Wow.
And I was like, well, that's bizarre. I went and saw it last night. I had a blast. It was super tense, creepy. The lead actor I didn't love, but the lead actress was amazing.
Okay.
But it was super tense, super creepy, great atmosphere, simplistic, which I liked. I liked that it was just 2 people in a cabin trying to survive against psychopaths. And when it was over and they teased because there are 2 more movies, they've already shot them. So when they teased the other movies, I was like, I am in, I want to see them. Some people think that because Chapter 1 didn't perform as well as they hoped, that Chapter 2 and 3 might end up going direct to Hulu or Netflix or something.
Yeah.
If that happens, I'll be a little bummed, but I'll still be happy as long as I get to see them.
Sure.
So if you're not expecting, because a lot of people were just mad, they were like, it's nothing we haven't seen before. And I was like, yeah, no shit. Like we've seen nearly everything before.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why Chell likes anime. She's like, well, at least this is twisted. This is deeply, deeply twisted.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I want to mention real quick before we move on. But yeah, Strangers Chapter 1, I'd go see it if you love horror movies, go see it. I do want to mention, for those who listen to the show and aren't aware, Michelle has her own podcast about anime.
I do.
It's called Michelle Explains Anime Poorly.
Yes, it is.
You can find it wherever you get your podcasts. So please take a moment and check out Michelle Explains Anime Poorly. She goes into deep dives about all kinds of animes and Japanimations, and it's a good show. I'm very proud of you for doing a podcast so consistently.
Oh, it sucks. Everything sucks. We're doing Windbreaker right now, which is pretty good. Not the Korean webcomic, the Japanese anime.
Not the stylish jacket dads wore in the 80s.
Yeah, not that either. not the one about bicycles, the one about beating people up.
Okay, got it. That helps.
Yeah.
So before we get out of here, Chell, did you find anything in the Reddit verse worth sharing with us before we take off?
I have kind of one that's okay.
Okay.
So there was this, a ways back, there was like family and they were going to camp. They were like kind of somewhere else. I think that they were I don't think it's the US, but it doesn't matter. Going to camp. And they are traveling and they're meeting their like cousins or, part of their family there. And they call them and they say like, hey, we're leaving now. So did you guys want us to get anything from the store? Any of that stuff? And this is while the group is traveling. And they're like, no, it's cool. So they know that like if they're leaving then that part of the family is 3 hours behind them. So they can get to the camp 3 hours before the rest of the family. So they're driving. Like pretty immediately after this, they go through like a tunnel of some sort, come out, time is different on the thing, and they get a call from the family member going like, and they pick up and they're like, what the fuck is going on? And they're just like, what? And they're like, where are you? We've been here And like, you guys aren't here. You're supposed to get here before us. And like they had been missing for like 2 hours. It was just like, they have no idea what happened. And apparently the family members had been calling them and trying to figure out what's going on. And no one has any idea. The entire car experienced it. No idea.
I mean, it sounds like somebody's just trying to cover up an extramarital affair to me, but okay.
I mean, it was an entire family, so I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, I don't know either. Were there any theories in Reddit, or were people just shrug emoji?
Most people were like, wow, but there were people who were like, that's highway hypnosis. It's like, you don't understand what highway hypnosis is if you think
we talked about that a little bit last week. Yeah, or last month. Yeah.
That's not what that means. So
that one's weird, but the tunnel part is the part that makes me go, huh.
Yeah.
You go through a tunnel and come out and time has moved forward, but you stayed basically in the same place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like they were in the tunnel for longer than they thought.
Maybe they just didn't want to admit they got lost because they were embarrassed.
It's possible. It just seems like a weird thing to share then.
Yeah, but everybody likes a little clout,
Yeah, I guess.
No, that one is creepy. I do like that one. And yeah, I would not know how to explain that if I had experienced it. I would have no clue.
Yeah.
Beyond that I was abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
Or maybe the werewolf Bigfoot.
Yeah, I would think that one. But yeah, everybody was saying you were abducted, guys. You were abducted pretty much. So.
Well, hell. On that note, we're going to shut down. We're going to close up. I'm exhausted. I need a little rest. I'm still in the middle of directing a movie and shit. But thank you, Michelle, for sitting down with me and talking about spooky stuff. And thank you to everybody who listened with us. And I want to say an extra special thank you to the folks who are supporting us on Patreon. There are folks who went to WeeklySpooky.com, clicked on Patreon, and are supporting us for as little as $1 a month and getting 2 bonus shows for every month that they're subscribed. And I want to say an extra special thank you to the Patreon podcast boosters. Folks who pay just a little bit more to hear their name at the end of the show. And they are Johnny Nix, John Callan, Bobbletopia.com, Jenny Green, Brent McCullough, Karen Weemet, Jack Kerr, and Craig Cohen. And if you want to hear your name in that same list with them, all you have to do is go to WeeklySpooky.com, click on Patreon, and select $15 a month or higher. There are lots of other benefits as well. We just appreciate the support. So now, with all that said, Michelle, you have the final word.
No, I really don't have anything.
We'll see you next month.